with anyone. I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around with me.
You could be with anyone, and I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me.
Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to another show with James, where we going to talk about and react to some of the foolishness that we see on TV and bring some real life experience to some of the people's excitement as they traverse this wild and crazy world. What's going on, Lizzie B? Hey, how you doing? Lizzie B in the house. Uh, Before we get started, I want to give everybody an opportunity to kind of load into the room. So, per usual, I'm going to play a little bit of music. Then we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to open up the phones. You guys will be able to call and give your opinion of the things that you see and maybe give some words of wisdom to young folks who may be thinking about proceeding with this endeavor. You know, the whole idea of being flown out seems exciting, new, and exotic. You get to go to different places. And it seems like you're getting a whole lot of something for a whole little bit of nothing. But I think that there are concerns that we should have as we consider taking that type of dating into the next level. Because, of course, you know, things are way different, especially in a dating pool, than they were when I was a young man and I was kicking around trying to carouse with the ladies. But I think that, you know, common sense is a mainstay. So just being able to operate and move in the world with some common sense could save you a lot of heartache, lot of heartbreak, and maybe some legal fees as well as some unexpected, terrible things. What's going on? Somebody said, "Hey, with TLCs, what's going on? TLCs, hey, what's happening?" So let me just drop this real quick, and then we're gonna get started.
Could be watching chefs burn pots in the kitchen, or influencers fake fights for attention. Drama queens with crowns, but no conviction. But now you're here, my addiction. Could've clicked that, prank that, mukbang feast, or streams of gamers slaying beats. But you're here with me, not scrolling free, not lost in streams or reality. You're here with me where you wanna be, out the algorithm, just you and me. Could be watching cats knock glasses down, or a dude trying to stunt, stressed as a clown. DIY hacks turn smiles to frowns, but you're vibing here, no fakes around sound. This ain't unboxing or ASMR, no clickbait titles, no rented cars. Realest channel in your repertoire. Stay tuned, superstar. But you're here with me, not scrolling free, not lost in streams or reality. You're here with me where you wanna be, out the algorithm, just you and me. Yeah, could be watching chefs burn pots in the kitchen, or influencers fake fight.
There you go. Thank you so much. No sound. Uh, how long would you have to date somebody to allow them to fly you out? You know, we'll say 3 months. We'll say 6 months, a year, or fly me out today. What's your name? Fly me out today. I got my passport. I ain't scared. I got me some mace. I ain't afraid of nobody. Just kind of curious where everybody is with that. Yeah, I'm recognizing because it does sound more foreign, and to people who are a little more advanced in years, or they've been entangled for a while, tied into relationships for a minute. Like the whole dating realm is a little foreign to us. So the idea that you would get on a plane and go meet somebody, sounds a little precarious. But there's also a thing too where, historically and before the internet and Facebook, TikTok, Match, Instagram, and slide in people's DMs and all that other stuff. If you wanted to meet somebody, you had to go out and meet somebody. And usually the people you meet because of proximity would be relatively local people, right? So, I mean, it would be a stretch, a real stretch. Like when I was a young man, uh, I dated people who were in a next state, right? So if you're in Philly, you date people in Jersey, or maybe you have somebody you're seeing as far as New York, right? But you wouldn't be, even going more southern route. You might be dating somebody in Virginia or maybe Baltimore, and you guys are trying to hook up that way. But it wouldn't be a situation where, I'm in New York and I'm trying to date somebody in North Carolina or South Carolina or Georgia, because the chances that we would be able to hook up and meet or talk or whatever, it would just be a lot. And that for those long distance relationships, that in itself is a whole nother problem. So it just wasn't really a thing. But now everybody is way more comfortable with spatial differences because of the ease of communication that we have with regard to the technology. So I think the technology bridges the gaps for a lot of that. And it creates an environment where potentially being flown out so that way you could put a face to the name, so you could put, some physicality to your relationship doesn't seem like that big a ask anymore. So I think that's there. Uh but let's take a look at the video first, then I'll comment on it, then I'll open it up. Uh What's this? My husband flew me. Brittany, not Brittany. What's up? What's up, Brittany? Brittany, not Brittany. My husband flew me out when we were still dating. We be together. We've been together for a year at that time. Yeah, I mean, that's not crazy to me. Because after a year, that is in and of itself a certain level of commitment, especially in a long distance relationship where you guys can't see each other or communicate that way. For you to stay in there that long, that doesn't strike me as weird. Like if you knew somebody for like 2 weeks or a week and they talking about flying you from like California to Miami, you know what it is. You know what it is. You know how they fly you out. They ain't flying you out to get to know you. They flying you out to get to know you. Like this is like they're trying to know you more in a biblical sense than any other sense. Like they're not just trying to get to know you like, hey, friend, you know. So what is this? Brittany wrote something else. Hold on one second. Brittany said, don't allow someone to fly you out unless you can fly yourself back if things go sideways. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I say that about a damn meal. You know, I'm dead ass about somebody flying you out 100%. And please don't be naive about it. Don't be naive about it. I don't care how nice the person who's flying you out is, guys and gals, because you know, if a woman's paying to fly your ass out, young men, like she expects you to come down there and swing that bat. Like she's not flying you out there for, you know, just to do the same crap she could be doing on the telephone. She's flying you out there with purpose. You know, let's not trip. So you know what you're flying out for. Especially like I could see there being a difference, you know, like in Brittany's case, if you have been dating somebody for a year and you came out and told them like early on in the relationship and you've been reaffirming this particular statement that, hey, I'm saving myself for marriage. Hey, I'm not trying to do nothing with nobody. Hey, blah, 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 blah. The physical part, I got to have like a real emotional connection before I engage in physicality with anyone. And you're making that very clear. And that person still invites you out. Then I think it's in that situation, it's, you know, it will be worth it. But at the same time, I agree with Brittany. You have some money so you can get yourself home. And also understand that if you're making plans and your plan is like in 3, 4, 5, 6 months or a last minute deal, I'm going to fly you down. You're going to spend the night at a hotel. Then I'm going to fly you back. Please understand that those plane tickets for that initial flight are going to be significantly cheaper than if you fly in on Friday and you turn around and say you're going to fly back on Friday because you didn't get along with your date or the person that you flew down with. You know, there's some situations where, you know, depending on what day you're down there, what day you try to book the flight, those flight could be $200 or $150 when they book it, $79.95 when they book you to come down. And then when you try to book your trip back, they could look, you know, the air people could look you right in the face and be like, that ticket's $1,000. That ticket's $1,500. Me personally, you know, if I was talking to my daughter and this is something she had suggested that she was going to do, I would simply tell her, if somebody's flying you out, make sure you get your plane tickets and confirmations in your name. When they send you the plane tickets and all that before you, like when you show up to the airport, you're giving them your name. Those are your tickets. They're not tickets that they have to license back to you or give to you. You want them to be in your, like, you are already paid for and taken care of. Non-refundable tickets. You know what I mean? You can't call them up and cancel them. And that's a good point too. Lizzie B just dropped a good one. You might have chemistry online, but in person is different. That's true. I mean, I say that about roommates. Like you could be best friends with somebody, and just because you friendly with somebody, best friends with somebody, doesn't mean you can live with them. Just because you guys have great conversations online, particularly when you're hiding behind a screen or a keyboard, you can be yourself. You could be open. You could be fearless in your approach to the relationship. But then when you sitting there across the table from them, nobody got nothing to say. Right? All the jokes are gone. And it's just weird awkwardness. So I think that's some of it. Lizzie B said there are a lot of factors to analyze here. The financial aspect, the long distance commitment. Does he have a record? Is he on the P list? You have to check online if they are married. Yeah, especially because in some cases when people be flying you out, and this is always the trippy part to me, they'll fly you into a town that they live in, but they don't take you to their house or their home They try to book you so you go to a hotel. That's got booty call written all over it. Like, you know what I mean? That's got booty call written all over it. Because either one, he's trying to hide where he lives because he might have a wife sitting there, or, you know, he got some people chained up in the basement. Two, he may not want you to see where he lives and how he's doing it. So he's trying to hide it back, you know. And so he's embarrassed, like maybe he lived with his parents or he have roommates and he been telling you that he's a baller this whole time. Well, he know his place is trash. It's all ran down and, you know, you got cockroaches walking through the living room with tank tops and do-rags on, smoking Newports. Like, so no, he doesn't want to take you back to his house. So he take you to the hotel. There's also a point too where it's always kind of trippy to me too, because if you don't know somebody, you know the name that they gave you, whether it be a nickname or a first name. But it amazes me how many people get on planes and don't know the last name of the person that they're going to go meet or see. They have no idea where they actually live. You understand what I mean? Like, you're going to get on a plane and go see somebody. You have no idea who this person really is. And you're going to get on a plane and go try to check them out. That is crazy. You know what I mean? And then trying to explain it to them why it's crazy can be difficult because they in love, they hot in the pants, and here you are trying to blow their spot up. So no, they're not excited. But let's go to video. Call this bad boy up. Okay.
This is how you get flown out, ladies. First class flight. Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. This is how you get flown out, ladies. First class flight. Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good,
to see
good.
You look good.
How you keep doing that? Oh, wait. Hold on. Son of a bitch. Thought I was ready. Hold on a second. I do like the this is how you get flown out, ladies. First class tickets. Oh, here we go. Oh, right. There it is. This is how you do it. What? She gonna teach the game. She gonna teach the game, y'all. That's not right.
This is how you get flown out, ladies. First class.
Hey, what's up?
Good. This is how you get flown out, ladies. First class flight. Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good,
to see
good.
You look good. Y'all, he's a lot shorter than what I remember on FaceTime, but it's okay. Got me out the city.
Oh,
Thank you.
Glad you made it safe.
Thank you so much. Whew. How are you?
I'm good.
I am super excited.
Exactly. I'm glad you made it safe. Everything is good.
Yes.
Awesome. So, ready to go to the stop by that go to the house and get you settled in and stuff.
I'm ready. I am super excited. So, I was thinking that, you know, maybe we can stop by South Park.
Stop by South Park for what?
I seen some red bottoms that I liked, so
Some red bottoms.
yeah. So I'm thinking we could probably stop by the mall first, and
I'm gonna stop right there because who the hell? Why would I take you shopping? If you needed some shoes, you should have bought those shoes before you got to me. And hell, how do you even know we going somewhere where you could wear some red bottoms? You know, and the audacity, like, I know you flew me out, but I figured you'd take me shopping. You gonna spend some money on me, like. If it's that deep, like if we're at that point, you know, where I gotta pay you to do this, then like you're moving into a totally different space. You're moving into a totally different space. So that's that, you know, that's prostitution. Like, what are we doing? There's no way in the world. But let's check it out.
No, that's not. Stop by the mall for like you ready to go? You want to go shopping?
yeah.
That's not like what the plan was for you coming down. Like you flying down here to see me.
What do you mean that's not the plans? I mean, you said this was all inclusive, flights.
Yeah, like to bring you down to meet. Not for whoa. No. That's not what this was about. This for you to come down here to meet me. We've been talking for a while online, so you know I said I'd fly you out. You know what I'm saying, to come down, but it wasn't supposed to be no swipes and all that type stuff. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm so confused.
I'm confused too.
Okay. And also, I forgot to tell you, by the way, that my homegirl is coming into town, so I thought she could also hang out with us for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and because this ain't making any sense. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you back off. So I'm.
What are you doing?
I'm about to let you back out because you talking about you already starting to trip off around swipes and meeting your homegirl.
Let me out for what? Are you serious? Is he serious right now? Are you serious?
Yeah, you can get out. Let me help you unbuckle this real quick.
Come
on, because these people at the airport, they be like on it. Come on.
This is crazy.
You can get you another ticket.
What? I should have booked my own flight. I should have made my own reservations.
Yeah, you should have.
I cannot believe you're doing this right now.
Yeah, this don't even make any sense.
So how am I supposed to get back home?
You figure that out.
Because my flight isn't supposed to leave until
you already got
tomorrow.
me messed up. You talking about red bottoms and meeting your homegirl? Nah.
Listen, you knew what it was when I...
No, you knew what it was. It's okay.
Oh my God, this is... I can't believe it right now.
You said you knew what it was. You knew what it was. I'm sorry, I did not recognize that as an option. That was crazy. And the whole thing is that one, you come down, you're not even in the car 5 damn minutes. And you're already talking about him spending money on you, buying you things. I'm buying you souvenirs. Because that's all that would be. I'm just buying you souvenirs for coming down to see me. Gifts and presents. Then you say you want to meet your friend, which is not just about the fact that you want me to meet your friend, but if we've been talking on the phone for enough time that I feel like I want to fly you down so that I can get to know you, and you bringing your friend, then you're not interested in getting to know me. And in fact, I take it a step further. If you're trying to get your friend involved, then what you're doing is you're just basically saying to me that I am the plane ticket that gets your friend down here. And once your friend gets down here, I'm going to be the one who's going to foot all the bills for everything that we have going on. So from that point forward, anything that we want to do, I'm bankrolling it. Because this is going to be one of those stupid ass situations where if they go out to dinner, oh, you can't make my friend pay. You got to be a gentleman. You a brokey if you don't make my friend pay. So you got to pick up both tabs. So when I'm supposed to rent her a hotel too, you know what I mean? And then when I say, oh, okay, well, I flew you down here first class. I bought you a bunch of stuff at the mall, the Louis V store, or Gucci. Then when your friend come down, I pay for a bunch of stuff for her, get her a hotel room. And the second he starts trying to push you into the whole reason why he flew you down there, we'll say that, right? What are you going to do? You're going to turn around and say, no, I'm going to go to my friend's room and spend the night there. That he's probably paying for it. Like, no, I'm not, I ain't nobody free ticket just because I fly you down. You should be wanting to see me and talk to me, But that is crazy, y'all. That is crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna post the link. Oh man. And gotta do the poll for a second. Y'all caught me. I had to fall asleep up in this gym. I'm so whooped. I don't know, whatever I got, boy, that shit is kicking my ass. How long would you have to date someone to allow them to fly you out? The results are in. How long would you have to date somebody before you let them fly you out? Fly me out today, 6%. I'm trying to go on a trip. A year, 39%. 6 months, 56%. Okay. But I posted the link. If you guys are willing to call in, you can do that. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I'm not I don't think it's necessarily bad that people get flown out or do this kind of activity. I just think it gets kind of sticky when you look at it and you're not taking your safety into account. Anytime you meet with somebody, I don't care how long you've been talking to them, if you just met them or you know them for 5-6 years. You got to take your safety into account. You got to make sure that you're safe flying out, meeting them and dealing with them. And that you're like, I even say, like, especially like we all walk around with these supercomputers in our pockets, right? When they talk about they're going to fly you out somewhere, ask them where you're going to be staying. What's the location? Look that location up. Try to find out like if there's been any crimes or what kind of area it's in. What kind of school districts they have. Especially if it's not your town. Because if you notice, when people are talking about like their hometown, they'll look at it and say, like, my neighborhood ain't that bad. And just last week, 5 people got slumped, at the playground over like some transactions, or people turning up missing all the damn time. But it's not a bad neighborhood because that's their neighborhood and they're used to it, right? I'm coming into town. I need to know where the good parts are and the bad parts are, the sketchy parts, the parts you're not safe in. And then I even take that a step further. And I don't think that nice neighborhoods just mean it is safer. I just think that nice neighborhoods just mean that the people who live in those neighborhoods have better access to better representation in council. Like, so they could be doing all kinds of crazy shit in some of the suburban neighborhoods and things like that where people have money, but they don't get the same level of prosecution. One, two, a lot of times they just because of the neighborhoods and the place where they're living, they don't get the same level of scrutiny. So, they'll be driving around and all kinds of crazy stuff will be popping off. But you just gotta be smart about how you move. And first and foremost, you got to listen to your instincts. If there's something about this person that's telling you that something is wrong, you got to listen to yourself. You got to listen to yourself. But coming to the stage, we got Brittany, not Brittany. What's going on, Britt? How you doing?
Hey James, I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well.
Good, good. First of all, I really want to say I'm irritated with this woman because now I have to side with the man. And on principle, like, why would you do that to us?
Right, girl code. Yeah, right.
Because what do you mean, like, immediately? I was thinking that we were gonna like get clips of the video of clips of, oh, he picked her up, and then later on, they're at the hotel, and then later on, but girl, this man's seatbelt not even on, and you talk
Right.
about some lubies. Ma'am, where is your sense of decorum?
Right.
Is
right.
my question. Who raised you? And then you just go and like invite your friend a third wheel in a whole other. Because if he's flying you out, I'm assuming that this is, more is like this is a good long distance. So you have your friend flying out to also be wined and dined.
Mm.
And based on what he said, this is y'all's first time meeting. So it's not even like you've been here before with him and you just decided to bring your friend. This is y'all's very first in-person interaction.
Right.
And out the gate. I hope
And
that it's fake.
And even as the guy, like, I'm not even sure I like your ass yet.
Right.
Why do you bring your friend? I don't even know if I want to buy your food.
Mm-mm.
You bringing company.
Because unless she's in, not to be, well, it is going to be very dope. Unless she's joining in on the fun,
right?
There's really no reason for her to be there. On just, like there's no purpose of her being there. Now, I think somebody mentioned like, oh, if she can be there to like make sure that you're safe or whatever. If you need backup to come with you to another state, you don't need to go.
Right.
So y'all just made a field trip for no reason. And now you got to turn your behind all the way back because you want to come in with some foolishness. Not even, that video wasn't even 5 minutes long. So
it was like 3 minutes. She blew that up in 3 minutes.
right.
But even to speak to your point of like bringing a friend for safety, here's my thing. And this is like, I don't, not to get too crazy with it, but I have had because of certain employment opportunities I had early on in my life, I've had the license and lawful ability to carry firearms, concealed firearms, almost all of my adult life, with the exception of from 18 to 21. So about the time I hit about 21 on, I've had the ability to carry a firearm. One of the first things you learn when you start doing tactical training or urban warfare, whatever the case may be, the instructors give you the best piece of advice that I've ever heard when it comes to that type of ability. And it's simply this: if I have to take a weapon somewhere in order for me to feel like I can get home safely, then me and the weapon need to stay the fuck home. Like, full stop. Like, I don't need to go anywhere. If I have to go somewhere and I gotta go heavy in order for me to come out, like feel like I can come out safely, then I don't need to be there at all. Like, that's not a place for me, because that having that type of weapon, I hear people talk about that, like with regard to like the school stuff and oh,
Mm-hmm.
if we had somebody there, and the only one who could stop somebody with one is somebody who has one. Here's the thing: that shit is all fantasy. I'm saying this as a person who has
Mm-hmm.
been trained in them. That shit is fantasy because the only thing having a weapon does is give you the ability to shoot back. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make you bulletproof. It don't
Right.
make you invulnerable. How this links to what you were saying with the friend. Having your friend there does just because you got a witness. People have seen people do some terrible shit and witnessed it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And your friend being there, and when he pulled that jammy on her, he pulled that blade on her. He said, "Get your ass in the back seat too, or crawl your ass in the trunk." What they gonna do? I mean, if
What are
you
you doing?
taking like Bruce Lee's daughter or somebody, then okay, maybe. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? But if anything short of that, where she like an MMA fighter or something, like anything shorter than that, y'all both just got kidnapped.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you just gave him another
It's just both of y'all sitting back there, like,
right,
well,
right. You get somebody to talk to in the trunk. That's all.
exactly. That is literally it. Y'all can brainstorm together,
Yeah,
but
right.
that's really it. And especially because to your point, she said that he was shorter than she expected. So then it's just like you're also going with someone that you feel is significantly or somewhat significantly larger than you.
Mm-hmm.
So that also puts you at a disadvantage because again, yeah, maybe the two of you and your bestie can probably take him, but the way she was talking, I highly doubt that either of them have any sort of self-defense training. So
Mm-hmm.
y'all really are just sitting there like literal sitting ducks.
Yeah, you on the trust me, bro shit. Like, trust me,
Right.
bro. It'll be all
Right.
right. Trust me. Well, because I even say this. Like, I remember when I was a kid, because I grew up in the time when I guess before I was really around, they
Mm-hmm.
had like the hitchhike culture.
Yeah.
The kids would go out and they just put their thumbs out and they would
Yeah.
just hitchhike. And I came up in a time post that. And one of the things that my parents always told us, because we would watch movies constantly and people would be hitchhiking all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that my parents always told me with hitchhiking and even being a young person going into somebody's house is that when you get into somebody's car and they close that door, so the both y'all get in there, you're like, I go totally whip this dude's ass. You
Mm-hmm.
get in that man's car and you close that door, that clank, clank, and he starts driving. If he gets to the place he wants to go, you don't know what he's got waiting for your ass.
Mm-mm.
So you looking at him like, yeah, we could beat the shit out of him. But what about the other five guys, the other five gorillas
Right.
this dude got sitting in the
Yeah.
cut who want to do all kinds of crazy shit to you? I mean, you have no idea. And you wouldn't even, and the crazy part is, like I said, I've literally seen people. I knew this one family where a guy, he was a younger guy, he went out and he was messing with this young lady, got her pregnant, and she only knew him by his nickname around the bar he hung out with. So when she got pregnant and she tried to put a case on his ass for the baby, she had no idea who he was or how to find him. She didn't track his ass down until her baby was like 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because she had no idea where even to start.
Nothing.
And people are flying out meeting people like that. Oh yeah, me and Shay Dog, I'm gonna hook up with him, and it's gonna be amazing. Or me and No Neck of Tricky Fingers
Mm-hmm.
or whatever,
Right.
and that's all you know about this dude. And then he drops you off with 5 or 6 other dudes who you didn't even know existed. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like if radars and shit start going off, and shit don't feel right, don't even get in a car. Same thing with walking
Mm-mm.
into somebody's house. Once that door is closed, you walk down the street today. I challenge anybody who wants to challenge what I'm saying. Walk down the street today, look at the houses that you pass by, and tell me what's going on in that damn house. You have no
Mm-hmm.
idea. You have no
Not a
idea what's
clue.
happening when them doors are closed. You
Not a
know?
clue. And you're taking a chance, and then you're also like putting your friend at risk. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess it depends on how much she knew at the time. And I'm throwing my little story time real quick. When I was in my in my early 20s, I decided to help one of my really good friends move to Canada. And we were
Mm,
going to do a road trip. And on the way, we decided to make it like this whole like girls trip thing. And then she met this guy,
mm.
and it ended up we were going to go stay with his family. So we get up there. His family was not informed that I
This is
was
what was
coming and
happening.
I was going to be staying. Yeah. So I get there and it's tense. Like, it's they don't want me there. Um it's there's like conflict between his mom, like the boyfriend's mom and the boyfriend. They have conflict, so they're yelling at each other at all hours of the day and night. And then anytime I come out of the room, it's like it's an issue. And because we took the long way around. We went through New York because I wanted to see New York City.
Hmm.
Because I'm in a place where I don't know, I can't even go anywhere. Like I was stuck. Then they would go out and leave and be all lovey dovey together and just leave me in the house with the mom who didn't even want me there.
Mm.
And so I say that to say, like, even as the friend, you also have to be careful because your friend could get you into situations that you're not prepared for and not be giving you all the full truth. So she put old boy in a bad situation. And she also put her friend in a bad situation, because what if her friend bought her ticket already and now she has to like get another ticket to go back the same day because you want to talk about Louboutins in the first 3 minutes.
Right, right. Or try to cancel that non-refundable.
Right.
You know, take a serious hit. Oh, you don't have traveler's insurance? No, because I was going to leave this afternoon. What are you talking about, traveler's
Right.
insurance? I bought the ticket
And
yesterday.
that was the other thing, is I didn't get a refundable ticket or whatever. The ticket to get me back was in Canada 2 weeks later. So
Mm,
now I gotta try to figure out. I ended up staying because I was like, well, I don't got the money. Like I said, make sure you can get your way back if you
right.
get stuck and it goes sideways. So I'm just sitting up there looking like Boo Boo the Fool because Brittany didn't have the money to like make the trip back, you
Mm.
know, out of JFK. So,
Well, 'cause I would even add this too. Because even in that situation, and I say this about like young ladies who are uh, dating guys in frat houses, or you're
mm-hmm,
dating someone and he says, "Oh, bring your friend over or friends over and they can hang out with my buddies." Here's the thing.
mm-hmm,
A lot of times, just thinking about this shit, because like I said, I've been around, I've seen things, I've heard things, and I've known people, and you know, you could find yourself unfortunately in a situation where you could have your friend could invite you over and she trusts her boyfriend or the guy she's seeing because she likes him. You're there, you bring your friend, and he's there with his two or three of his buddies. You're there with your friend, and everything is going good. He wants to get some alone time with you. And all
mm-hmm,
that does is that leaves your friend in a space or a place
mm-hmm,
with these three guys who she has no ties to. And the
mm-hmm,
unfortunate part is you may trust the guy you're seeing. Maybe he's
mm-hmm,
a decent dude and he's a wonderful person, but you don't know nothing about these three guys that you're about to leave your friend by herself with and what
mm-hmm.
their intention is. You understand what I mean? And like all the logic of, well, if something happens, then I'm gonna know it happened and I'm going to testify. That shit doesn't fix anything, because once something happens, it happened
It happens.
and you can't take
And
it off of them. Yeah, no matter how much you remember, how many charges you press.
Mm-mm. And
So,
if you, as the friend, are upstairs with your man, you
mm,
can't testify to anything that happened down there because you weren't an eyewitness.
right.
So while hooing and hawing and, I'm gonna be down for my friend and whoop de whoop, okay, well, there's nothing you can do. So you left your friend in a bad situation. Something happened to her. you can't undo the damage that has been done, and then you can't be an active participant in helping to rectify the situation.
Right.
So,
And not to mention, if just the logistics of it, if we're gonna be
mhm,
true assholes about it. And
mhm,
I say this not to be mean, not to be nasty, not trying to be cruel, but I just say this to be blunt and straightforward so that we all know what we're talking about. If something were to happen in that situation, that scenario I just described, what it would be, as Brittany pointed out, because it's hearsay evidence and or speculation, your friend who's upstairs can't testify what happened downstairs. The three guys who took
mhm,
advantage of that situation is going to be three people's word against the one person who said that they're a victim when they get to court. So it's going to be the three people's story versus her story. She's going to say, I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't know these guys. They're going to say she was flirting with us the whole night.
mhm.
And she was, she made it clear that this is something she wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you look at, I can run through cases where this has happened.
Yeah.
And the guys will turn around and say, oh, that's just buyer's remorse. She just felt guilty because she realized that she pulled an Amtrak, and got a train ran on her ass. And that's why she's embarrassed and humiliated because she didn't realize that she was that big a freakadeek. And now she
Mhm.
wants to say that we did something wrong.
Yeah.
And it can become a battle. And some of these, like I said, some of these judges are like, well, and this is jacked up too. And it bothers me, and I'm going to say this, but it is what it is. There are some
Mhm.
judges who would look at that situation and say, well, what woman who didn't want to be involved with this situation would allow herself to
Would
be
put
in that
themselves
situation?
there. Uh-huh.
Right. If she wasn't down with it, why would she stay there?
Mhm.
And I think that shit is wrong and ridiculous, but we have to recognize we can't operate as the law should operate or the justice system should operate. We have to operate in the world of reality with how the justice system
How it
actually works.
is. Yeah. Yes. And to that, I'll throw one more quick story time out, and then I will let other callers jump on. But a few years ago, before I met my husband, I went on a date with this guy. We went to this is the Manosphere guy that I was telling y'all about, where he was just like horrible the whole time. Yeah. So we went on a date, and then after that date, we decided we went on another date, which was at his house so we could watch so we could like watch some TV show. And then he went on this long like monologue about manosphere nonsense that I was just like, oh my God, okay. So at one point he goes, well, men are physically stronger than women. Like, that's fact. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not arguing that that's not the case.
Right.
But like I don't remember exactly how we got to that particular topic. But he goes like, you know what? Like right now, I could R-word you and there's nothing you could do about it.
Oh wow.
And I mean, okay. Yes, and I'm 5'2". I'm 5'2". I have dated all heights of men. This guy was like 6'6", built real like linebacker style. So all of a sudden I'm like, oh, shiitake mushrooms, I am in danger.
Right.
Danger. Right. So now I have to figure out how to get myself out of there, because this is my first time in his house. Yes, we're by the door, but I didn't, I sort of clocked how many locks were on the door, but now I have to look at the door and go, okay, can I unlock, the deadbolt, the little chain hook, the regular doorknob lock? Can I do that all in time and get out to safety? If I start screaming because we're in an apartment, will anyone like come to my rescue? Will they get here in time?
Right.
So all these things, which, I'm just thinking we gonna watch a little anime and it's gonna be a cool time. It's fine. And now all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, I've got myself in a bad situation. And one thing that I did think is I was like, dang, if something really does happen to me, everybody's going to say that it was my fault for being here to begin with.
Right.
Or not everybody, but like some people will make those comments.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So it's like you do have to protect yourself. Guys, guys too, but like as women in particular, as he said, men are typically stronger than women.
Right.
So you have to keep your bearings about you, because it's all fun and games until it's not fun and games. Like up until that point, I was just laughing at the crazy things that he was saying, because he was talking about, men and women are put on this earth to F word and to farm. Like,
Mhm.
that's all we're doing. And, if, men are meant to lead and women are meant to follow. And like the whole manosphere, like Bible worth of nonsense. And then it switched to that comment.
Well, I mean, in fairness, though,
Mm-hmm.
there's there's a few things that feed into it. One,
Mm-hmm.
the outrage of the fact that he said it tells me that it was something that he considered. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yes.
something that you would have to consider in order for
Mm-hmm.
you to turn it into a negative. So you'd have to affirmatively admit that this is a thing, and then you would have to turn it into a negative. But I'm not going to do it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice that I'm making. It, although I could choose to do the other thing, just to let you know. And the
Right.
fact that I talk about it sometimes on Saturday. We have conversations that might get in depth as far as like some uh abuses that have happened to people and historically. And even as we talk about it, like we talk about the Duggars and all those folks, we
Mm-hmm.
always have to keep in mind that those crimes are not crimes of sex and sexuality. Those are crimes of power.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he was doing was he was essentially telling you that in my house, in my presence, you don't have power.
Right.
And at any time, I can take all your power and your decision making ability away, and
Mm-hmm.
it can be revoked. That and the fact that if he's listening to a large amount of manosphere content, not to be an asshole, but when push comes down to shove, if he's listening to a lot of that stuff, a lot of that is rooted, whether they admit it or not, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
that is rooted in the hatred of women.
Exactly.
So the fact that he's saying that this is something I'm willing to do, and I enjoy listening to these guys talking, uh, you know,
Mhm.
and like
Yeah.
you said, I
And
mean, the pucker factor would definitely be at a 10 because, oh shit, this dude is thinking about it. You know what I
and at
mean?
the time, I remember at the time, I knew what the manosphere was, but it was like annoying dudes like Fresh and Fit. And I was
Right.
like, oh, these
Right.
people are so stupid. So it wasn't until that moment that I really like took it seriously of like, oh, and like, it's like, oh, if you're part of the manosphere, a lot of these men hate women. But
Mhm.
in that moment, I was like, oh no, these people really hate women. Like they have no qualms about harming you, be it physically, financially, emotionally. Like it's just that's how they feel you should be treated.
Right. Well, I
And
think that part of that, oh, I'm sorry,
oh
but
no, no, you're good.
I think part of that culture too is that because I'm familiar with like Fresh and Fit, Myron and Walter and
Hmm.
even like Sneeko and a lot of them guys,
Yeah.
Zerka and all them guys. When push them down to shove, let's be honest, those guys are all goofballs. They're
Yes.
all goofballs. Like those guys, like
Mhm.
they're nasty. They say rude, crazy shit, but they're covered by the fact that it's very difficult to take them serious. Therefore, it's easy to miss the inherent danger in what
Exactly.
they're saying because they're goofballs and they're
Hmm.
idiots. So when you're faced with somebody who's 6 feet tall plus,
Hmm.
250 to 300 pounds, and
Hmm.
he is having that same the shit is pouring out of his mouth.
Yeah.
All of a
Hmm.
sudden, it's no longer a goofball situation. It's a
Right.
danger Will Robinson situation, you
Exactly.
know, because now this dude could actually do something to you and
Hmm.
I often say that like with men and women, I respect the fact of equality. I respect the fact
Hmm.
that women have just as many rights and everything as we do and all that. But at the same time, I recognize that when it comes to equality, equality in and of itself does not mean the same. It
Mm-mm.
means that if we're going to be treated equally, it means that your needs are being met and my needs are being met
Hmm.
equally, right?
Right.
The things you need, you're getting. The things I need, I'm getting at a compensatory or at an equal rate, right?
Hmm.
That's equality. when we talk about like danger in these social situations, I can honestly say the concerns that a woman would have walking into a bar, into a
Mm-hmm.
club, or into a room full of guys is completely different than any concern I've ever had. I've never
Exactly.
walked into I've been in frat houses
Mm-hmm.
and bunch of guys around, and never, not once, did I think to myself, oh shit, there's too many guys here. They drinking a lot and they talk
Right.
real loose and reckless.
Mm-hmm.
Never once have I been concerned about my whether I was going to walk out of there, intact.
Right.
We'll say, right?
Mm-hmm.
For women, that's different. I
Mm-hmm.
might say like these guys might mess around, try to jump me, or I might have to fight somebody. But
Right.
I'm not sitting there saying, these guys are going to violate me.
Mm-hmm.
And for women, that is a concern that they have. Like, so that's like the fact that dude just said that shit out of his mouth tells me that either he knows nothing about like who he has
Mm-hmm.
no reflection of self
Yes.
and who he is, or this dude is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? This
Right.
dude is dangerous.
Right. And I'm gonna add this. When at the time I was still doing a lot of powerlifting. I'm short, but I have, like a lot of muscle. I'm sort of compact. We'll call it that. But even though I can like deadlift 225 on a good day for a couple reps, great, perfect. That's not gonna do me any justice here in this moment of trying to get this man off of me. Like
Right.
like especially someone who's like, if he's truly intent on trying to hurt me. So I say, just please be careful and be smart and don't fly out and then start talking about Louboutins in the first 3 minutes.
Right.
To tie it all back.
Yeah, right. Don't blow your relationship up. Because I think, I mean, we talked about like the extreme danger of it. There's also the manners side of it.
Yes.
Like that's just poor manners. Like that's like walking into somebody's house and demanding they start cracking out the good liquor and start
Yeah.
making filet mignons and lobster tails. Like, like I wasn't
Ask for
expecting your
water
ass to show
first.
up.
Yeah, like you just got here. You just got here. And now look at you. Gotta fly back the same day. And
Right.
you probably, if she were my friend, she wouldn't have gone in to begin with, because I would have talked her out of it. But and also I would not have gone with her. I would have been like, girl, that's all you. But if I did decide to go and I couldn't talk her out of it, she would be paying for my flight back.
Yeah.
Because what do you mean? Or at least like, you gonna pay for the hotel we gonna stay at until it's time for us to go back. Because what is this?
Yeah. Well, because I would even say if you're going to go through the expense of flying out somewhere, like say it's somewhere that you've never been before, and your friend wants to go, then what it should be is that you and your friend organize a trip, and then maybe during the course of your trip, you have like a little hiatus day or afternoon or evening where you go out on a date with this guy. Like, I'm gonna be in town.
Yeah.
I figure maybe we could hook up and maybe go to dinner or whatever. I'm coming to town with my girlfriend, and maybe we could hook up, go to dinner. To me, that would be completely acceptable. I'm not
That's
paying for
fine.
you to do shit, and you coming out, and you're going to be here anyway. You want to see me, cool. I don't have any objections to that. But if I'm flying you out, I mean, that's like if you invite somebody even to a basic date. I invite you out on a dinner date, and you show up with two of your buddies. What are we doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, you date me, you date my friends. Well, I have no interest in dating your friends.
And this was an, oh, by the way, this wasn't like a,
Right.
hey, my friend would like to go. Can you fly her out too? And then if he says yes, then that's his
him.
fault. Right.
Shame on him.
But you just gonna spring this on him in the car. That man, he didn't even have his blinker on. Like,
Right. He didn't even get out the damn loading area.
right. Like, he didn't even have to like drive around and come back to get in line. You literally got out the car immediately.
Right.
And then he was like, no, go on and get out. Go and get out because you know these people
You know
be
they
real
serious about
fake.
ticketing and shit. Yeah, right. We've been here too long.
He said, I done already paid this first class ticket. I'm not about to pay a fine
Right.
because you're taking your
Not,
sweet time
not
getting
for
out
some
this
stupid
loading
shit.
zone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. There's
Yes,
no
but
way. No way.
couldn't do it. Couldn't be me. But I'm gonna let you get on to your next callers.
All right, thank
I'll
you,
be in the
Britt.
chat. No problem.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Brittany, not Brittany. Yeah, I'm 100% on Brittany's team on that. Like if you gonna invite your friend down, that should be a conversation we have well before. That should be. Remember when we talked about me bringing my friend down? That should be that conversation. Not, oh yeah, by the way, oh yeah. And I don't know why she was singing the whole damn time. We gonna do some swipes. Like that shit don't help. The music don't help. Just because you put a bass tone to it and start beatboxing and shit. Boom, take me old shopping. No, I'm not doing that. I don't care if I'm tapping my toes or not. No, I'm not taking you shopping. Are you crazy? We got Darlene up next. What's going on, Darlene? How you doing?
Hey. I
What's
was
that?
muted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Um, First of all, I would never like meet somebody like across the country. I guess I'm not that daring. So this would never be me. I would never end up on the crime shows, okay? That I love watching. I, I go to sleep on forensic files. I see all the cases from back in the day. Hitchhiking, the little girl went missing. Went to get the mail. Never came back from the mailbox. I'm just saying, it happens, and I try to steer clear. I ain't a big partier, so that way I don't become a victim, if you will. 2 drink limit or 2 friend limit, or
Mhm.
I don't, get my own ticket. I've always bought my own. All my bills are in my name. Nobody ain't buying nothing for me. I cancel if I want to. I keep it if I want to. But if, let's just say I was so bored or desperate, okay, or just finally ready, or something happened, changed in my life, it would have to be like a year before I decided to go far away. One state, maybe. I can't see going from here to California even. That's too far.
Right.
Texas is pushing it for me. Um, Northeast would be decent and close. You know what I'm saying? I might stick to that little corridor. But then I might enjoy someone else from somewhere else with warm weather, maybe. And then that way, when we go away, it could be good times. I don't know. Then, am I using them for good weather? No. I mean,
Well, because I think that there's a difference. Like if you're dating somebody or you're talking to somebody online and you guys have a relationship and you want to take it to the next level, cool.
yeah.
If you just want to go off and get you want to get something strange, recognize what it is and call it for what it is. Like I'm just flying down there, I'm gonna do my thing.
Okay, so
I'm in a location I've never been before. This is what I want to do, but just be honest with yourself. But at the same time, if you plan on when you put yourself in a situation where you think you're taking advantage of somebody, a lot of times you make yourself more vulnerable to be taken advantage of as well. And that's all we watched in that video. She thought she was going down there to take advantage of him. But at the same time, because you're trying to take advantage of him, if he's going to try to take advantage of you, you're just putting fuel into that tank for the things that he may find acceptable to do to you as he's planning on taking advantage of you. And that's where it kind of hits that danger zone, Pete.
right. She's lucky he wasn't grimy and went along with it and then took advantage of her or flipped it back on her and dumped her out 10 miles down the road and her no way back to the airport. He straight up said, this ain't for me, ma'am. That's like the Lyft person deciding to not take you.
Right.
They have the right of refusal. Even if he loses money, he was willing to walk away. He bought the ticket.
Yeah, what you should have. Because I mean, there is a
He
point
was
too
that
where
kind of person.
you can't. I respect the fact he wasn't trying to replace or repair it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
trying to, work it out and this is who you show me who you are, but I'm gonna pretend
Right.
like I didn't see that and I'm gonna try to talk you into being somebody different. Okay, this is
Right.
who you are. Let me drop your ass off because I'm not interested in being with somebody like this. And so I respect that. He
She
didn't
could
want
have
to.
been a quick victim.
Yeah,
That's my point. Because she's so dumb or greedy or gold digger, whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah. And again, I'm too old for the bullcrap.
right.
If I'm
I
going
mean, I
far
ain't got
away,
no time for games. Like if I was flying somebody out and I knew I was just, if it was just a,
right? How serious is this?
if it was a knockoff thing, it would be very clear that this is what we doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not one for a whole lot of, like, I don't like surprises, and if anything, I would want people to know what it is that you're agreeing to. So in my mind, if I'm flying somebody out and I know that it's strictly like a physical thing, I'm flying you out and I'm planning on doing some stuff, then I
Right.
want it to be very clear before you get on plane one and before you pack a stitch of clothes or a bag that you know what you're coming down for. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not flying you down and trying to surprise your ass.
Yeah. And why do I need to bring my friends? She's going to know my details. She's going to have my itinerary. She's going to have my location sent the minute I land. It's going to already be set in motion who your backup person is to call an emergency on speed dial if things go left, right? Or if you don't end up coming home, she's calling the cops first because she's the one that has the info. You always have somebody that has to know if you're going somewhere.
Right. Well, I
You
mean,
know
I
what I mean?
if that person is not in town at the time, because like if I'm taping somebody for safety, I mean, I shouldn't have the tape with me.
Right?
So click, click,
Right.
click, and then all of a sudden, be like, I gotta give them the tape too. Like I'm giving you all my evidence. If you
Yeah.
if you take your friend with you, your friends are like you know where you're going, nobody else know where you're going, and only your friend knows where you're going. And you take your friend with you, and she get kidnapped. Who the hell know where you at? You just gave, like I said, you
Right.
just gave another damn victim. So she could be at
Right.
home and know where you at. It's the same difference.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
Jay
guess
gotta go.
I'm just too strict or too old school something. Plus, again, kind of like Brittany, as a teenager, trusting a few new friends at school. Um, I thought we just was cutting school to get away and going to her house. It ended up being she had a group of dudes meeting just so she could be with her boyfriend, but he brought a crew with him and thought they each had one of us. I didn't know that was the plan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, especially young guys who are inexperienced. And maybe I'm giving too much credit, but
Right.
in their minds, if one friend is sleeping with a young lady and which means especially at a certain age, in certain age ranges,
Uh-huh.
she's doing something that a lot of other young ladies in that same age are not doing.
She
Right?
was younger than me. She was younger than me, Jay, and I wasn't on that. She was younger than me, and I wasn't on that.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, if she's doing things that if he's getting something from her, then his friends assume that you're into it too. Like if
Bingo.
he's hanging out with somebody and your friends smoke a ton of like the devil's lettuce, they think
Yes.
you're a weed head too. They're not gonna
Yep.
think you never touched this stuff. If she's a
Yep.
boozer, every time they see her, she falling down drunk, they assume that you down to party too. So if he's going back, and especially some guys are idiots and they run the loose lip shit and they start talking and talking and talking, he could exaggerate their experience to, oh man, dude, she a freak, she off the hook, all that stuff we see on internet and the movies and stuff, she be doing all of it. And then they think that her friends are doing the same thing. So when these guys are meeting the friends, they're amped up with the predisposition, thinking that their friends are the same way, and they're going to get the same kind of treatment. And so it's just the approach. Like it's like I said, some guys just don't know the difference, the delineation, and they don't see the difference. They don't make a distinction between people. So if they see you as they see you a certain way, it's very difficult for you to convince them that you're not that way, no matter what you say out of your mouth. Because then you say, "Oh, I'm not like this. Oh, I'm still a virgin." They be like, "Oh, that chick lying. She lying." You know, I should be friends with this one, and she ain't doing nothing. She just trying to play you off. She just trying, and then that's where again, that's after school special style. This is where the shit get dangerous. She just trying to play you, dog. She's saying you ain't shit, and all of a sudden, dude mad because you got the neighborhood, turnkey, the neighborhood doorknob telling them no, he can't get a turn.
Right.
You get wild. So,
but that's situation made sure I never ended up in such a situation again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess that's why I'm just so strict with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame. And again, I'm one of those people. It's a shame it has to be this way. It's a shame you got to take these precautions. But I'd rather people be safe than be sorry. Because once it happens to you, there's nothing anybody can do that can take that shit off you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to take it off you.
And that's fine. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I knew a few situations, even like with I don't want to say her name, but like we have a person who calls in on Saturday, and they talk about like how their dad was using her to try to bring people over. That unfortunately, that situation is not the first time I've heard that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's not the first time I've heard that. I knew young ladies who lived in New York, and she had a friend, and her friend was, the dad was, messing with her. And so she used to bring young ladies over to the house and try to keep her dad off of her. I've seen situations where women have been, in college, women will be with their boyfriends, and they'll be cool with the other guys, their boyfriend's friends, and they set their friends up, for dumb shit to happen to them. Like shit like this happens all the time. And that's why I say, like, you just got to be smart. You got to be careful who you trust, because some of your friends are people who will lead you down the wrong path too. It's not
and that was
the guys,
Thank God that was just like a half friend, if you will, not a real close bestie. So thank God. So I just avoided the person, and the whole shit never happened again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My circle got real small after that point.
Yeah. And then, like I said, a lot of it just comes down to, us learning to be able to trust our instincts and paying attention. Because even with what you said about like when you go out, when my daughter first turned 21, I took her out. Me and my wife took her out, and she had her first drink with us. Right. I was like, and then I started, like, I've been talking to her about it, but it's always one of them things where you just reinforce the fact of like, when you go out, it's okay. If you want to get blown out, bombed out, you go home by yourself, get bombed out, as drunk as you want to get, and you can sit in your house safe to yourself. But when you go out with other people, you always never put yourself in a situation where you don't know what's going on. Never trust people around you so much that you think you can be blacked out drunk and somebody else is going to take care of you and make sure that you're okay. You got to be able to have your own back in these situations, and you make yourself extremely vulnerable if you put yourself in a compromised position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But if just in the smallest little 5%, okay, it's not going to happen, but just come on a whim, it would be at least a year that I have to know you. And heard some things and heard you talk about because people will let things slip. If, down by the, Genoa Park or whatever, come on. All they have to do is Google that. You know what I mean? If that's why I would never do no cap. I would never date on them sites. I can keep rolling back. I would never do that because I'm not getting catfished. If I can't reach out.
Hello?
Wow. Let me,
Oh, you cut off.
I'm not getting on the plane no more. If I can't reach out and touch the ground, I can't go.
Right.
I'm driving or I'm biking it.
Right.
You see the planes are dropping? I'm not doing that no more either. Plus I get sick. No, plus I throw up. So that's a whole different story. But yeah. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Mm-mm. And maybe it's an age thing. Maybe this is a newer generation thing, maybe. Where, or I wonder how old she was. She sounded at least middle aged. What do you think?
Well, I'd say she was maybe late
Did you see
20s,
her face?
early 30s.
Okay, okay, not middle aged yet, but yeah, getting older. You're not
But she's old enough she should have known better, but
right
that's all relative.
to be more cautious.
Right.
Because you just think if young people, this younger generation is just do things on a whim. They do all the hookup sites. They have these. You just show up in a town and see who wants to hook up. What? Ugh. STD. Ugh. Death. Ugh. AIDS. KIDS. I can keep going.
Mhm.
Or let alone you could get shot showing up at the wrong house doing the wrong thing just on a whim. How could you be that trusting?
Right. Right.
Or are you that dumb or are you that naive? What's the right word?
Well, it's just
'Cause I
the way
can't
that,
do
like
it.
I said, the technology is so quick now that I think people move faster. And a lot of times when you move with speed, there's not a lot of consideration or
Uh-huh.
forethought in it. So I think they just get caught up.
Right. We got to know the backstory. I guess it's all based on that. Let's say it's somebody that I used to go to high school with, but they moved out west.
Mhm.
Then we link up. Different story. I know where they came from, James. Do you see what I'm saying? I got to get to the nitty gritty.
Right.
I got to know where you came from. I got to ride by your mom's house when you don't know. Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, at least with that person, you have some history with them. Like I mean, I think that, like I said, I'm not going to judge anybody in how they move in a dating world because I'm not in it, So if you're
Right.
telling me, it would be unfair for me to be like, you shouldn't do this. That'd be ridiculous. But I think that if you're going to do anything, even if you're going to do the wrong thing, try to be as smart as you possibly can and try to be as safe as you can. Even if you want to do some dumb shit, put a helmet. Like like you're gonna jump.
Right?
You're gonna go bungee jumping. Even them
Right?
guys wear helmets. You know what I mean? Like you're
This is
jumping off a
crazy.
bridge or you're jumping off a building with a string tied to your ankle. You're wearing a damn helmet. Like that helmet ain't gonna do shit. But at least you try to be smart. Just try to be smart.
Right?
Try to protect yourself as best you can in these situations, so that way you don't have a result that's unintentional or unforeseen. Like you just try to understand what it is you're doing. How well do you know this guy? Ask yourself honest ass questions. How well do I know this guy? Am I going down
Right?
there because I'm really interested in getting to know him and trying to expand our relationship? Or am I going down there because he look or she looks kind of good in the Instagram
Never.
world? And I want to try to take
Yeah.
this, I want to take it out for a test drive. But I'm not
Yeah.
interested in buying. Like, be honest with yourself. That's all.
Oh, right, right, right. If it was just a hit and run, I mean,
Right.
I'm grown now. I'm grown enough now. But again, how did I meet you from the beginning? Was it on a dating site? No, because I'm not going to be on them. I don't know. So was it through like a convention or a work thing or somebody I could physically actually prove you're, real? Or, again, that's why there's a show called Catfish. People
Right.
are too trusting, you know? And there's all the crime shows. The people come up missing, you know, drove somebody here, thought they was just driving their boyfriend, and he done got them shot up in the next town doing the wrong thing over there.
Mhm.
I watch every crime show there is. So, I just didn't want to be I'm not that trusting, I guess. And I don't know why, maybe who I am, because something did almost happen, because my age, I don't know why exactly.
Well, I
Just
mean,
not
I think it's
that
not
trusting.
necessarily not trusted. I just think that it's like you have to operate in a place where you feel comfortable. And just because one person will do something doesn't necessarily translate to you being paranoid or or dumb or naive or whatever. It's just you're not willing to take a certain chance, and that's fine. I think that that's commendable. Like if you're safe with yourself, that does show a certain level of respect for yourself. That you don't put yourself in a bad situation. So, I mean, it is what it is. But again, I'm not hating on anybody. If you decided you meet a guy tonight on Tinder, somebody sliding your DMs on Facebook or Instagram, and you ready to jump on a plane and fly out, God bless you. I'm just saying, be smart about the shit before you go.
Yeah. Send me your location. I got your back because I'm that friend that would want somebody to do it for me. So I'm going to call and make sure you got in at 8:03. Oh, a delay? Okay, but then as soon as you hit the next town, I need that text, that thumbs up, that, you know what I mean? And it's a secret code that only you and I would know in case you did get kidnapped. They couldn't just text back on your behalf if they took your phone from you, got control of you. You see, I've thought about everything already because I watch all the crime shows, so maybe I overthink it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, like with the friend at home, it's like I tell my kids when they go out, like I always have insisted that, that they at least let me know who they're going to be with, where they're going to start at, and what they plan on doing. Just because, like, being a person at home, if you don't come home or something happens to you, I get to be the one to tell the police, or I have to be the one to tell the police where to start. Like, I know this person, that person, and this person. These are the people you need to interview, and I know they were supposed to be going to XYZ. I don't know if they made it there, but you can at least go there and inquire as to what was going on. You could ask these people if they actually got there, or if they didn't go, what changed, and then maybe they have additional information. Other than that, like, if they get your people, they got your people, and that's the whole thing. Like, I'm not just me knowing who you're with is not protecting you.
No, but at least somebody's got to know where. So if you've come up missing, you have a starting point. Hey, she said she was going to Illinois on business. Did she ever land? You got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? So I would want the common courtesy of anybody, a loved one, a friend. If I had the balls to do it, or felt like I trusted this person, again, some circumstance starting from. Somebody I work with, somebody I can physically have seen before, or we've Skyped. You can't just be over the dating app something. I trust you and take it on a whim trip. Never. That would be crazy because you can be somebody they're not. The wrong person picks you up, and once you're trapped in the car, the locks are removed, the windows don't roll down because they have locks on them nowadays. The childproof lock is on, so you can't get out the door.
Wow.
Right. So I just, it wouldn't be me. I can't do it. But I will, support somebody if they really feel like they love them and, or if it's just a quick thing, especially if it's a quick thing, then it's only a hit and run, as you say, then you definitely need to send me itinerary. You're going to be gone 3 days, 2.5 days. I need to know when to expect you back. She left and went to Vegas and did not return. She was going to hit the hotel, the casino, and she left with Johnny. That's all I know, right?
Right.
So be that person if you know somebody that's going to do it.
Right.
Because it's a crazy world out there.
I'm not against the information. I'm just merely stating that information it's insurance. That's all that is. And like insurance, it doesn't stop shit. I have auto insurance, collision. That doesn't stop anybody from hitting my car. That's just in case somebody hits my car, I can have an opportunity to get my car fixed or replaced.
Right.
But it doesn't stop anything from happening. So I'm just saying, I don't want to give anybody any false hope. Like, oh, I can go out of town and do this dumb shit as long as somebody knows where I'm at. They know where you at, but that's not going to stop you. Like, you could have a picture of the guy and his address, his location, his mama's name, everything. And if he does something terrible to you, it happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
They can find him and they may be able to prosecute him, but whatever he did to you is going to leave a mark and it's going to stick. It's not going to come off you. So that's
right. And I can't try to get you either. I can't rescue you, but at least I knew where to send the cops to and who he was last seen with. I need to know that information.
Yeah, just be smart
But
from the start. That's all.
that's it. That's it. So you don't end up in that predicament. But yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all. I was just calling to say, like, me, no, I don't think I ever would. But if
Yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah. I'm
a
kind of
year,
there's
solid
too
year.
many variables that I can't see that I just don't trust. So
These days, 20 years ago, different story.
why
Yeah.
is that? Wait, I don't understand. What do you mean?
Oh, if we would have been younger or something, I probably would have been more ballsy to do it.
Yeah. Well, the
You see what
youthful
I mean?
indiscretion, maybe. Yeah. The danger is
Yeah.
still the same, though. That's yeah, like
Yeah,
that's
no, I know, but I would have been, today I'm too smart. I've learned that lesson. It ain't worth it, whatever, to me.
right, right,
So, that's where we've come. That's what I
right.
mean.
Oh, okay, I got you. I got you.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's age or just wisdom or whatever that's brought me, but nah. Minimum a year if I had the daring balls to do it. It's a midlife crisis and I felt like going out again. But okay, get to the next caller.
All right, I'll talk to you later, darling. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. If you got a point, make sure you let people know where you're at. That's important. It's important. Jody Pierce Scholar with the 9.99 super chat said, one time my uncle was going to take a woman home. I took her sister aside and said he had herpes. Blew the game up. I'm sure he was not happy. His ex told me it was wrong. It was wrong and not my business. I handled it wrong. As a question mark. No, no, no. Like, I'm not a fan of that anyway. Like, that's something that it's not your business to the effect of, if he was going to a park and he was going to go jogging with somebody or something to that effect, or he was going to go bowling with somebody and you ran in there like, Uncle D got herpes, that would be kind of overstepping. But if he plans on sugar bombing somebody or sneak attacking somebody, that's not cool. Like, I don't think that shit is cool. I don't think your privacy ends where my nose begins. Like, your ability to make those kind of decisions stop is where your shit start affecting me. And that is I understand that like 1 in 4 people have some form of herpes simplex, whether it's 1 through 10. I get that. And it's a lot of people who are dealing with it. But because you're dealing with it and it's so pervasive in our culture and in our place, you don't get to make that decision for me. I should be allowed to make the decision for myself. If I'm willing to take the risk and go home with somebody who has whether an STD or whatever the case may be, and I'm willing to take the risk, that's my business. But it has to be my choice. You don't get to choose for me or what you think is fair to you or what you think is none of my business, because that is my business. So no, I don't think you handled it wrong. Ask the person who you told. Do you think I handled it wrong? You was gonna go home with his ass. And he probably, these things, man, I don't like these things. They come between us and they be kind of tight and stuff. I don't be liking these because I don't be feeling nothing. I like going all natural. You know what I mean? The same guy be burning up people all over the town. No. And to be honest with you, that's part of the reason why a lot of this shit is so pervasive as it is now, is because people weren't taking people weren't taking responsibility for when they had it, informing people who they were going to associate with, and keeping stuff secret, hiding it back, doing it anyway, that kind of thing. It's just not right, And like I said, give them the choice. Like, some people, I even say that with like cheating and stuff. Like, if you want to step out on your lady, or if you want to have relations outside your committed relationship, talk to your lady about it. Talk to your man about it. Who knows? They might surprise your ass. Like, oh, I'm with that. I was about to approach you with that. You never know. And if they aren't willing to do that, there are plenty of people who are. There are plenty of people who are willing to have, open relationships. There are plenty of people who are willing to take somebody whom they find attractive back to the house and try to strap it up and take the, roll the dice and hopefully nothing happens. And I'm not even just talking about like with the herpes. I'm talking about with other venereal disease in general, including the 4-letter killer. Like, they I don't give a shit. I'm willing to do this. There are people, especially now, like we've come a long way with a lot of the treatment when it comes to HIV and AIDS and that. So it's definitely not as scary as it was before. But before you do that to somebody, I think you owe it to them and for your own sake of integrity to let people know what your situation is. And my situation could impact you or affect you. I think it's only right. But thank you so much, Jody. And no, I don't think you're wrong. Coming to the stage, we have Caramel Cuties. What's going on?
Hey. This is an interesting topic tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull them out the bag.
Nah, I'm laughing because I literally just commented back to Jody's super chat telling her I'm of the equation of I mind the business that pays me. Therefore, if they're two consenting adults and they're willing to go do what they want to go do, who am I to say yay or nay? If he discloses that information to her or not, that's on them. But if she's overly wasted and can't even really consent and say that she wants to go home with him, then I might have to say something. Just because if it's to the point where, they sloppy drunk, falling all over themselves, can't barely hold their head up to get in the car, then yeah, that's a problem. But I don't know. I tend to let grown folks do what grown folks do.
When it comes to because with drinking and stuff, like actually as crazy as it is, I'm old enough. I remember when that actually became, like I said, acquaintance rape became a thing. But just say no campaigns, I remember all that shit. But my position, even amongst my friends, like we talked about it extensively, and my position was, forget the just say no. Like if I'm with somebody and she could be yes and all night, but if I get the feeling or inkling that there's some type of hesitation, then the answer is no.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you're drinking and I feel like you've had too many, like it's not, casual drinking, but I feel like, I see your ass stumble twice on the way to the door. The answer is no. I will take you home. I will walk you up to your door. I will drop you off and I'll get back in my car, drive home, do whatever and go to sleep. Like,
see, it's fun. It's
straight up.
I say it's funny, but it's not funny that you say that, because as a single mom, it's one thing to tell my daughter what the rules and stuff are when it comes to dating, what you should look for, not look for. But I feel like a lot of women don't have these conversations with their sons, right? And I've always taught my son from early on, because he's the friendly guy, right? We call him Friendly Freddy. He's a friend of a friend. He's friends with everybody, including teachers at school. But even being overly friendly sometimes can be misconstrued. Like I tell him,
Right.
he'll be getting in the car after football practice and like the girls will come up and be like, oh, Makai, and want a hug. And I'm like, okay, that hug lasted a little bit long. And he's like, she's just a friend. Okay, but a hug too long and say she didn't like it could turn into a problem later. So I try to teach him like no means no. Even if no comes after a yes. So you and a girl might be cool and she tells you, oh, it's good, you can kiss me, or you can hold my hand, or you can hug me. And God forbid substances come into the equation. She says yes, y'all getting ready to do, and then she says no. I don't give a damn if it was a yes before the no. Once no is said, no means no. Don't try to convince her to go back to the yes. Don't try to convince her to change her mind. I said, because that can catch you some time. No means no. And once no is said, take it as such. Walk the hell away. Be done with it. I don't care if she comes back later and is like, well, I was just nervous. We can go. Nope, you said no. We can do it on another day if that's the case. No means no. And I feel like not enough parents teach their children this, unfortunately. And that's how you end up in certain situations, especially as young men, where they're again, not to say that we don't believe victims and we don't believe when, especially a young girl says she's been, a victim of SA or anything of the sort. That's how you keep the lines from being blurred, is how I feel as a parent. Is
Right.
like you
Right.
start teaching your kids no means no. Hell, you even start telling your kids no. Because some of these young boys I'm seeing, if a girl don't even want to give them their phone number, they ready to slap them. And I'm like, damn, rejection hurts much. Like, it's just sad to see the dating culture that we as Americans have come to now. Like,
Mm.
is, I don't know, it's just overly ridiculous. But again, adults, I'm of the notion of I let them mind their own businesses. Now minors, it's different. And or yes, if they sloppy drunk. Like, I've been at a restaurant and seen some girl taking back shots at the bar at the restaurant. Like, I don't want to say Olive Garden. I'll say like a Cheesecake Factory.
Right.
And whether she was there on a date that didn't show up or whatever the case may be, but at this point, she's sloppy ass drunk. Guys are coming in and looking at her because, it's football season and the games are on. And she's too drunk to even make it out the door. I'm watching. I'm on high alert just to see what's going on. But I don't know her from Adam. I'm telling the staff, like, can y'all call her an Uber? Can y'all make sure, you know what I'm saying? She not walking out of here with the wrong person just because she's by herself. Whether
Right.
they gonna rob her, rape her, whatever the case may be. But if it's a group of them, then that ain't my business. That's for y'all to figure out. But that's just me.
Yeah, I'm not even, like I said, I'm not even because I always take the position that if it's I use the same logic, I guess, with even formulating contracts. If you're gonna buy a car, or you go for a gym membership or some shit, if it's a good deal today and it's a good idea today, it'll be a good idea tomorrow. And
Right.
so if I'm talking to somebody and we go out for drinks or whatever, and they were saying that, while during the course of us just having drinks, we sitting there and then I noticed that they might have, edged that line or whatever. And it might have started off the whole night plan, the beginning plan of the night was for us to go out, have some drinks, and hit back to the no-tel, right? The no-tel motel. That was a whole plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, then I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not, because if it's a good idea tonight, it'll be a good idea tomorrow. If you want me tonight, then you're gonna want me tomorrow.
Right.
But I
I
just
feel
want to
that.
make sure that that you are making decisions that you actually want to make. And you're not, you know, going with the booze logic, and then all of a sudden, you're doing something that you're going to regret or you're going to feel bad about. Because
Yeah.
I would hate for somebody, and I guess even I never really thought about it this way, but I would hate for somebody to even think that I took advantage of them in that way. Even if I knew for sure, like I didn't, I would hate for somebody to feel like I did that to them.
Yeah.
It was something they didn't want to do, but because they had too much to drink, they made the wrong choice. And yeah, it's not a legal issue, but they just kind of have that reservation that maybe if they didn't have as much to drink, they would have made a different choice. I don't want anybody to feel that way. You know what I mean?
You're such the nice guy, James.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
we clone you and just put 50,000 more like you out there, unmarried, please, for us single women? Jeez Louise.
yeah. I
Most
just,
men don't even think like that. They're just like, hey, I'm going to get it if I get it. And if
yeah,
she's
yeah,
willing, I'm
yeah.
going to get it.
If she willing to drop it, I'm willing to pop it.
Right.
But no. Well, that, and like I said, I think I said it before. I love my freedom. So,
That part.
yeah,
That part.
yeah.
Now,
I ain't trying to go to jail.
for the video you posted, I cracked myself up because baby, I kudos to him. I am so glad to see he didn't even make it out the airport parking lot
Yeah,
before
yeah.
flipping a U-turn and dropping that ass back off. Cause baby, ain't no way. First and foremost, I feel like this, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't travel if I'm broke,
Mm,
and my definition of broke may not be the same as somebody else's. So let me clarify what I mean by broke. Broke is if I can't afford to finance my own vacations, if I can't afford a flight, a hotel room slash Airbnb, food, and transportation costs, whether I'm Ubering, taxiing it, Waymo, or go get a rental car. If I can't finance my trip myself, my black ass don't go.
Right. Right.
So if you want to pay for me a flight, I'm not going to stop you. But
Mm,
just know that my MasterCard, my Visa can swipe just the same so I could get back. Now,
right.
with that being said, if a man that I had dated online and I didn't fully catch the amount of time that they so called dated, wanted to fly me out to his city. And he flew me first class. I would be forever grateful because
Mm,
I've never ridden, well, only once, but it was literally like an hour and a half flight on Delta. I didn't get the full first class experience. So
right.
to fly out first class, I'd be honored. But then to get to this man's city, he comes and picks me up from the airport, and I instantly start saying we need to go to the mall because I need to buy some red bottoms. I would expect him to drop my ass back off at the airport too, because that's doing the most. Then to try to add in, oh, my girlfriend's gonna come into town too. Yeah, but I'm shocked he didn't get violent with her. He
Mm,
politely exited her stage left with no hesitation. And I appreciate that because some men might have, followed along with her lollygag and made it to the mall before they decided that this wasn't for them. He he did it all and didn't even break a sweat. Like he didn't get upset. He didn't even frown up. He kept a cool face, but he was like, "My mama didn't raise no fool, boo. You gotta go." He didn't call
right.
her out of her name. He just politely dropped and went, and I appreciate that. But on her end, she was trifling as hell. She was
Yeah.
trifling. And if you like red bottoms, then you should afford to buy your own. Therefore, you should have afforded to buy your own ticket. I think I'd heard her say, "How am I supposed to get home?" You should have had your own money to buy your ticket to go home, boo boo. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't on him to fund your whole trip the way you thought he was supposed to fund your whole trip. Talk about it's all inclusive, like you in Mexico somewhere on the resort. Get
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Get
Hey,
about
yeah.
it.
You had what was that? I forgot that club that used to do that shit all the time. It was like a little beach resort. Ah, shit, I forget. They used to have the all inclusive. You get all you could drink and your food's included, and the room and the package and all that.
Yeah. I mean, all inclusive usually sounds like a pretty good deal.
Right.
Hell, I want to say this was my son wasn't even a year old yet, and I called myself dipping my toe back in the dating pool, right?
Hmm.
And me and a girlfriend went to this thing that they called play date. It was something that they would go around from city to city, and it happened to be in Oakland this particular year. But it's basically an adult playground. Like they have games, like board games, like Uno, Monopoly, Connect Four, like just board a place for adults to be kids for the night, basically.
Right.
And I met a gentleman who happened to be at the play date, who was in town to see the 49ers play against the Philadelphia Eagles. He was from Philadelphia. And long and short, we exchanged numbers and we talked, I don't know, about a good 3 or 4 months. But again, I met him in person. This was not something over the internet, trying to meet up again, you know what I'm saying, for the first time. And he offered me a trip to Philly. And
Mm,
I allowed him to buy the plane ticket, but yet again, I had enough to buy my own. When we got there, he did switch up where I was supposed to be staying. Now, there was a hotel booked. My credit card was left to reserve. He canceled the hotel and wanted me to stay with him. I
mm,
politely went to the bathroom at the restaurant and rebooked my hotel room. Like, yeah, I don't know you that well, buddy, to be just staying at your house, but I did go see the surroundings. Was not comfortable, and he understood that and respectfully took me to my hotel. But I stayed in Philly for 5 days, enjoyed myself to the fullest all day long, half the night. But when it was time for me to go night night, I went back to my hotel just because. And I got a copy of his driver's license. My girlfriend's back here had all his information, had his address, knew what he looked like. So if I were to pop up missing, they knew who to go question. They know who to go ask because they knew exactly who I was with. They had a phone number, they had an address, they had a copy of his driver's license. I made it back home safely. I think that's the one and only time I've ever been flown out to somebody else's city for somebody that I would say was fairly new, that I didn't know. Like, we went together years before, we were together long distance, and then I flew to see them or they came and flew to see me. Uh, like I said, I don't travel unless I have my own money, because at any given point, if I'm uncomfortable with the situation, I'm not going to be at somebody else's beck and call to get somewhere safe. I'm
Right.
not going to be trapped at your house. I'm not going to be trapped at your finances to tell me that you're not getting me back to the airport and I don't even have money for a cab. I don't know where I'm at. Like, I'm never going to put myself in that type of situation. So, some of these young girls is quite crazy. I just, I don't know. Dating nowadays it just, from the videos I see on TikTok, yeah, I'm glad I'm single. I'm cool. Ain't no way. You couldn't pay me to do half the stuff some of these young girls will do just to chase a dollar. And I don't mean like a dollar literally, but at the end of the day, a meal at Roof Chris, maybe it's not that serious. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Well, I mean, it's not worth your dignity.
Not at all. Not at all. Then too, like, again, when I do date, I'm always of the essence of, I don't feel that it's always the man's job to pay. And I
Mm,
know, some old school women that say that the man's supposed to take care of the check and the man's supposed to do this. And if a man wants you, he should be coming out the pocket to pay. I don't believe that. I believe relationships should be 50-50 when it comes to that, or 100-100. You're giving your all, I'm giving my all. If you paid for the movie, I could pay for dinner. If it's your car driving on the date we had on Wednesday night, but we're going out again on Saturday, I could drive. I don't always feel that it's of essence that the man always has to be the one paying for things. But that's
right.
just me.
Yeah.
If I got it and he don't got it, I pick up the slack. If I don't have it and he got it, he'll pick up the slack. And that's just how I look at relationships. That's how I look at dating. But again, not everybody thinks the same. So,
Yeah. I just look. I just think that if you are, because it's all about, I think it's all about maintaining your own dignity. It's about protecting yourself. And it's also about establishing the type of relationship that you want to be in. So you're
mhm,
setting the groundwork for how your relationship is going to work. Because even if, as you said in telling of what you were saying, if you're setting a relationship up that when I have and you don't, I can kick in. When you have and I don't, you will kick in. But either way, we'll be working together. That sets the tone and tenor of the relationship that you plan on moving forward with. If the relationship is no matter what happens is all on me, or vice versa, then that also sets the tone and temperature of what the relationship is going to look like. So when
mhm.
he, and that's why I said there's no point in him having a whole ass discussion with this woman about why you come, I'm gonna fly you in all this money I paid, and you gonna ask me about some red bottom and let me try to convince you as to why you wrong. She's already telling you who she is and what she's going to expect from that relationship. Take that note and say, you know what? I'm not interested in that type of relationship. That's not what I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop your ass off because I don't want to waste your time. You know,
Yeah, I feel that.
and just be done with it. I'd rather
Yeah.
that. And I appreciate the honesty. I do. I
Yeah.
really appreciate the honesty. I'm
Right.
not for the dumb shit. So now I'm gonna go ahead and drop you off. There's no point in me
Right.
pretending.
He learned it fairly early, because ain't
Right.
no, again, most men, it would have been a back and forth or a tussle, or, you know what I'm saying, trying to convince her of
Yeah.
other things. So he let it be known early on, I am not for the fuckery today. So yeah, figure out how you gonna get home, because this is done. It's over
Yeah,
and
we
done.
done
No
that.
love
Yeah.
lost. I'd actually seen a video where they made it to the hotel, and I don't know if they had already did the do, were trying to do the do, and she wasn't satisfied, but she got instantly on live and had the camera showing his face and everything, like truly clowning this poor guy, and was like, I flew you out And I expected this, that, and the third. And you talking about, oh, I guess because she wanted the D. And he was like, well, we should go eat first. And he's trying to like get to know her, sit down and go talk and figure her out. And she was just like, he's like, you brought me straight to a hotel. We didn't even go to dinner first. And
Right.
she was like, well, what you think I was flying you out here for? And I was like, that has to be embarrassing.
Uh,
Because this poor guy is like, damn, can we wine and dine? Can I get to know you before we drop some draws? And you just want to
right.
go straight to it.
Right. Yeah. She ain't playing. I mean, I think that happens on both sides. And it's the idea of, and that's what I don't like. It's the idea of, because you buy me some things or you put some money on it, that somehow you now own me and I don't
Mm-hmm.
have a choice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't give a shit how much money you spend. I still always have a choice as to whether I want to do some stuff or not.
Right.
You know, like that's all of a sudden, oh well, they bought me a plane ticket. I'm gonna just have to go ahead and do it. Nope, nope.
I got a girlfriend, unfortunately. I mean, she's been married for forever, but her single life stories have me cracking up because she's always like, you should find you a man that's going to pay for everything. And I'm like, So basically, you telling me in your single days you was a sugar baby. That's the impression I'm getting. And you went out with older men that didn't have a problem paying for things. I said, and how many of them older men wanted the sugar you was bringing to the tank?
Right.
I don't know about you, but I may not want to give up some sugar. You want company, you want somebody to talk to, we can talk all day long, but that don't mean that I'm going to get myself in some uncomfortable positions to satisfy your urges because you talked to me on the phone for an hour. I'm cool.
Yeah, you're selling
I
them for a handbag.
I
I mean,
tell
at the end of the day,
everybody I know what it's like to live broke.
right,
And if I need to do some uncompromising things with you just to get a couple dollars to pay some bills, I'll stay broke. It is never that serious for me. If that's serious for you, who am I to judge? Baby, go handle your hustle how you handle your hustle. But sugar daddies and sugar babies ain't for me. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm cool. It's just that's not a lifestyle I even want to remotely live. I'm not Anna Nicole Smith. I'm not marrying no 90-something-year-old man with barely any teeth, can't walk, just to collect a check. Like it's not that serious. So, and two, I don't I don't like using people. Like I'm gonna keep it real because I don't like to be used, and I feel like everything that's done like that comes back around. Like I believe karma to be true.
mm,
And if I'm screwing over somebody for my own personal gain, I just feel like I'll never be blessed. Like bad things are going to constantly happen because
right,
I'm intentionally screwing somebody else over. And because I don't want to be taken advantage of, I'm not going to do that to somebody else.
right.
And again, if that's what dating now consists of is just people using one another, then I'll just stay single cuz it's not for me.
Well, I mean, again, it's the tone and tenor of your relationship. So if your relationship is based on the fact that you're using each other, then that's what it is.
Right.
You can't be mad at it when, because Brittany, not Brittany, was talking about the Manosphere guys, but that's one of their big things. Like, oh, I'm gonna get these women, and it's all about how young they look and how fine they are, and sleeping with them and the physicality of it. But when it comes to me, I expect these women to have love and loyalty for me. Like
Mhm.
that doesn't make any sense to me. It's a transactional relationship. You
Mhm.
you have a certain amount of money, which allows you the opportunity to be with these type of women that you're attracted to, and they're trading off of their looks, like you're trading off your money. If they lose if they lose their looks, you gonna drop them. If
Right.
you lose your money, they're gonna drop you. Or if they get a better opportunity, they're gonna drop you. So it is what it is. It's a business opportunity. So if that's how you conduct your relationships, you can't be mad at somebody for opting out, making a better deal. There was no loyalty involved with the original relationship with the agreement, you know. And if I'm
Mhm.
flying you out and it's all about like I spent X amount of dollars and I expect to get X amount of activity out of my commiserate with the money that I spent, then that that more or less describes the oldest profession more than a relationship to me.
Not the oldest profession.
Yeah, you know.
I agree though, wholeheartedly. Again, I think that clear boundaries and expectations should always be discussed before plans are made, so that once plans are made, nobody's confused.
Right, right. Yeah, you know what it is. So, and I'm
Right.
all about that. Like, I think that that's something that, if you plan on bringing somebody down and you know full well the whole reason why you bring them down, it's not an implied thing. Because I'm all about transparency. If I
Mm-hmm.
was flying somebody in and I wanted to engage in adult activities, and that's the reason why I was flying you in, I would make it very clear that that's why I was flying you in. It would be, girl, I just want to get to know you and see you in person and stuff, and we could have a talk and we could go to dinner and maybe we could hold hands. Nah, baby, you need to stretch before you come down to this mug because it's gonna be you had to warm up because
Right.
this I want to get my money's worth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
I
put you in a
mean,
first class airplane down. I'm gonna get a nice hotel. Shit. Yeah, no. I'm not taking you to the Night's Inn, a red roof. I'm taking you somewhere nice. Shit. There's gonna be some
I just
holiday going
feel
on.
like, again, if you were transparent, I always say, give me the opportunity to decide.
Right, right. It's about choice. Yeah. If you choose the dumb shit, then you choose the dumb shit. But it's still your choice.
Right.
You know what I mean? I shouldn't do this. Yeah, you probably shouldn't. But it's your choice.
Some people, though, they just, I don't know. Some people just have a problem with honesty. And I
Right.
feel like it's so easy. Like, to be honest is so easy. I don't know why people have a problem with it.
Yeah. Actually, honesty is easier than lying because if you're honest, you might hear something. If you say to your girlfriend, I want to open my relationship up, that's way easier than cheating. The outcome might be your girlfriend leave you or your wife leaves you. That's a possibility. There's another possibility. She might say, you know what? I'm with that shit. Let's do it. But either way, like you're better off just being honest because if you go behind her back and lie to her and tell her it's just me and you and she find out you have 3, 4 people, then you're not only a son of a bitch, but you might put yourself in jeopardy and danger.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're making life choices for her. And the crazy part is she might have even been with it, but because you made a choice for her that she didn't necessarily participate in, she'd be pissed about that. Like I would have done it if you would have asked me, but you didn't ask me, so therefore I didn't get to choose.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was willing to fly into town to knock your socks off, but because we didn't talk about it and you didn't ask me about it, you just assume that this is what I'm doing. Now all of a sudden I'm a piece of shit and you can do whatever you want. And I'm just a toy. No, I'm good. You know what I mean? So
I got a friend who's going through that now, unfortunately, that his longtime girlfriend, they've been together like 20 something years, wanted to open up their relationship. They had a discussion about it. He was thinking about it because, he's heard through the grapevine from other couples who've opened up their relationships that if you want to keep your girl, that's not a decision you need to be making. Like,
right.
just keep it between you and her and keep it pushing. But his girl has bicuriousies and she wants to open it up and invite another woman into their relationship. And before he could fully answer that, she'd already crept out and had a drunken night and blamed it on the alcohol or whatever else. But now wants to make this a regular drunken weekly thing. And he's like, I love her. We got kids together. We've been together for so long, but I feel like I'm losing her because now she got a girlfriend basically. And I'm like,
Well, I mean,
I
the
don't know. If
question,
you stay, it's kind of like you simping, because if you was against opening up the relationship and she just decided she was going to creep no matter what you felt and what you decided, then maybe that's not your girl.
right.
Let her go on, be with who she going to be with. Y'all split the kids up however you need to split them up and go find you somebody who's going to respect and love your decisions no matter what. But who am I? I'm just the single friend giving single advice. So I don't
Yeah,
know what to tell you. Like, if you
I just
gonna
think
stay,
that
this is what you're gonna have to deal with. Because she kissed a girl and she likes it. So I don't know.
right.
The little jokes, I'm sorry. I'm a sarcastic ass, and they're too easy not to say. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, she didn't give you the chance and the respect to actually think about it before she pulled the trigger, and now you're stuck with the consequences of her actions.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say I say it like this. You have to either way. One, I don't like the fact that you made a choice for me. Like if we
Hmm.
were talking about it and it was a discussion we were having, that doesn't give you golden amp to say, oh, we were kind of talking about it. Yeah, but a decision and an agreement hadn't been made. I don't like that part of it. The other thing that I would be hesitant to say, you have to know yourself in this situation and know what you can tolerate. And don't just look at it as the short term, she going out and she getting twisted up every week with this person. Because this is a person that you're messing with. This isn't something that she's pulling out of her drawer and
Hmm.
then do her activity and then she put it back in her top drawer, bottom drawer, whatever. Right? This is a human being.
Hmm.
And if she develops a connection to this human being, this could be your long-term situation. And that person could become very heavily involved in your relationship because that's a person.
Right.
You know what I mean? They got hopes and dreams and aspirations just like you do. And in and one of the things I would always say, being a person, just like, you know, his wife has him, her girlfriend may also have people that she mess with.
Right.
You go home to your husband and mess with him. What about my girlfriend or what about my boyfriend? He willing to try some things. You willing to do those things with him, and you open it up and it just starts opening up. And that's why I say like a lot of these lifestyles they look great on TV, but in actuality and practicality, and in effect of you actually doing it, these are not like you don't crack the door on this. You take that door off the hinges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no more barrier. Like there's no going back. And once you know your wife, and that's nothing. Like once you know your wife, or your lady, or your husband, or your boyfriend, you know that they've been with other people. That's something you're not gonna forget.
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
I mean, I don't know. My only advice is, if you feel you can handle it, then by all means. If you know she creeping with, we'll call her Jessica, and it's only Jessica, and you're okay with it, then be okay with it and keep it pushing. But if you don't know for sure that Jessica's only sleeping with her, then now y'all opening up doctor visits and
Mhm.
STD
Mhm.
checks, and Jessica may be the new stepmama to your babies, and he didn't find that funny, but I found that hilarious. uh I don't know, like, at the end of the day, you know what you can handle, and if you can't handle it, then I suggest it's easier to break it off and walk away now than
Right.
it would be 4 5 months down the line, and she's fully invested, talking about, I got a fiance and a girlfriend, and then your feelings is way more hurt then. I don't know.
Well,
I'm
because
not
I
of the
would even
essence of staying in something I don't want to be in. So
right. I would even say like when it comes to the whole STD thing and the risks that you're taking, the reality of it is the second you open your relationship, if you're in a committed relationship, and I guess technically you probably should still get tested, shits and giggles, belts and suspenders. But if you're in a committed relationship, I can understand you saying, I'm not going to run down to the doctor's office and just get blood panels done. But if you're in an
mhm.
open relationship, even if your wife is supposedly sleeping with one person, again, this is a human being. This is a different person. You have a commitment and agreement with your wife. This other person does not have an agreement with you guys that she's going to be celibate.
True.
You know what I mean? So she can do whatever she wants to do with whomever she wants to do. And how many times have you seen situations like this where the other person is like, look, I mean, you go home to your husband every day and you gonna tell me that I can't go spend time with somebody else? That's ridiculous.
Right.
And so, yeah, I would fully expect that she's still active with other people. Because it would be ridiculous to think that she's just sitting there where she's she's committed to a married woman who has a separate, independent, strong commitment with this man. And if that's what she's saying to you, and I'll even flip it on that, if that's what his wife is telling him, that this woman and I have this super strong commitment where we only sleep with each other, then boo boo, I got to tell you, you getting edged out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because she's saying that that relationship is just as strong and relevant as your relationship, where most men mess up, especially when it comes to the menage a trois stuff. I don't know if I can say that, but did. Or when it comes to the like the open stuff or the group stuff, where most men mess up is that they don't take women's sexuality serious. And I think that that's where they make their biggest mistake. They don't think that women, their sex drive and their ability to explore and enjoy is as strong as men's stuff. And that's where they mess up. Oh, it's not serious. If she got a girlfriend, that ain't gonna trump my heterosexual relationship. Dog, these women will twist your woman up. Don't get it twisted. They'll twist the ass like a pretzel. They had, you know what I mean? She don't know her name. She been there speaking tongues and shit. You know what I mean?
It'd be a move or something.
Yeah.
You thought you had your woman down pat, and y'all been having, bland vanilla sex for the past
Right.
8 years, and this woman will come in and turn her all types of colors.
Turn her ass out like a t-shirt.
Right.
You understand what I mean? And you don't know what's going on. Next thing you know, she ain't taking your phone calls. You getting blocked. You come home, your shit on the fucking front lawn.
Right.
And she done moved her stuff in there. Look, don't play.
She done bought you a PlayStation to leave her the hell alone.
Yeah.
But no.
And some of these women is serious with theirs. Like, they serious. They're not, oh, it's okay because there's only one sword per bed. Like, look, shit. Some of these women are real good with hand-to-hand combat. I'm just saying, like, tap her ass out.
Yeah, I've got a couple friends that's sadly what happened, and unfortunately now that they over here on they dad weekends try to explain to their kids that your mom kissed the girl and she left me for an old girl, and they trying to figure out why they kids got a new stud stepdaddy. So
right.
Yeah, you thought your sword was gonna be the end all be all, but baby, she done found a whole new lifestyle and she's in love. So you
right.
Let it go and leave it alone. But,
Talking about, I ain't never had it done like that. Like, what
right.
the hell, Nah, I don't look. If I'm just saying, like, guys have to be very careful because you let your pride and your ego lead you astray and you will get screwed. I mean,
honestly, I only know of one couple that have been together for forever and they opened up their relationship and they're actually still together. All the other couples I know that even tried to dib and dabble in that, they are no longer together. They can't stand each other, and whomever they opened it up to is now who they are with.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of energy that goes into it, and one of the hardest things I think in that equation is just your ability to get past it.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing to talk about, like, oh, I fantasize about my lady being with somebody else. It's another thing to watch your woman get, turned out, and you sitting there watching that shit. Like, classic, oh yeah, we gonna go to the swinger spot when we do some things and blah blah blah. And then he go in there and talk his wife into it, and then she's resistant to it, and then he get in there, he do his thing, finish, and she's still going. I mean, he go get something to drink, get refreshment, come back. She's still going. Yeah, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, she goes from like, you my wife, you my lady, the love of my life. I just want to do this one experiment. So all of a sudden, she's the dirtiest, nastiest, most disgusting person ever because he can't get around the fact that she's enjoying somebody else and somebody else is enjoying her. The ego can't take it. That's why I say, if you're going to be involved with that type of life and lifestyle, you got to know yourself first and what your tolerances are.
I agree. I personally don't like to share, so that ain't the lifestyle for me. But if it's for you, hey, knock yourself out. I'm not mad at it. But again, it sucks that I told him all the time, you took too long to think about it. You should have just given her a definitive answer. Even if you weren't sure, you still should have said no. Because
Mm,
then, if she still would have went out and did it, then you, of course, now know where your relationship stands. But the fact that you kept telling her, I'm thinking about it, which gave her the inkling you were open to it, even though deep down inside you weren't, you still should have just said no.
right.
But because you had to think about it, she left with the impression that you were open to it, and now you ain't got a girl. So I'll buy them both something on Mother's Day and keep keep it pushing. I'm a horrible friend. I am, because I'm the sarcastic one. Once I know you're over the heartache and you can talk about it and laugh about it, oh, we gonna laugh about it because I got jokes.
Right.
But while you sitting here sobbing, crying, snot nose face error, I'm gonna be more sensitive. But he's over that point at this moment, so I could crack jokes about it. If he was listening in, he wouldn't be mad, as long as I don't say his name. But yeah, it's I don't know. Again, I'm glad to be single, because some of these problems that these folks in relationships have, I don't want them.
Yeah.
I don't want them now. I don't want them in a month. I don't want them in a year. Like, I'm cool. It's just, yeah, it's too much. It's too damn much. And from some of these videos that I'm seeing, shit, to date nowadays, you got to off top have an 850 credit score, 5 houses, a house in the Hamptons and whatever. Like, the bars that these women are setting, that these men have to, I don't even want to say obtain. Like, it's I don't even want to say it's crazy. It's just ridiculous. Like, I guess I'm just a cheap date. Shit, you could take. I don't want to say Denny's because Denny's ain't my spot, but hell, you could take me to IHOP and I call it a good night.
Right.
Some of these broads feel like if you not spending at least $1,000 on the date, then you're cheap as hell. Well, I guess I'm just cheap. Give me a cheap man, because I don't need all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, because I also say too, like, one, if that's where you recognize whether you have a builder or a taker. Because if I was dating a woman, especially on the first date, and she wanted me to take her somewhere or insisted I take her somewhere that was expensive just for no reason, then you're a taker. Because at the end of the day, a woman who wants to build with you wants you to be responsible for your money. She
Right.
wants you to be responsible with your finances. And so, no, I don't want you, I don't need that expensive, shopping spree, or you take me out and buy me a bunch of baubles and bullshit. If we're going to take some money, let's invest some money in something real. Let's put it on some real estate. Let's put it into some kind of business. Let's do something with that money that'll actually show dividends and profit later on. Or let's put it in a bank and save it so that way one day we can do something smart. That's the kind of thing. Like, if you're looking for a partner, that's the type of partner I would be looking for. I'm not looking for somebody who's going to be like, oh, yeah, let's spend all of your money. And then in a year or two, I'm going to start complaining when I'm sitting on top of my Louis V bags, my Saint Laurent and all that other stuff, and my Gucci, and I want to drive like a G-Wagon, and I'm going to be complaining because we live in an apartment.
Right.
And I don't have shit to show for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's just dumb to me.
Yeah, none of that shit makes sense to me neither. Like, again, I used to laugh because I got a saying that some of these women pay like they weigh, right? And they're pretty hefty, big girls. So obviously, I got a girlfriend. She's never left home. She's been married twice now, 2 kids, still lives at home with her parents. And that there's not a problem with that. So that's not what I'm insinuating, because multi-generational households, sometimes that's how you got to do it in order to have things in life. I get it. She gets free childcare. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I understand that part. But she has a damn good job. She's worked at the same hospital since she was 19. We're in our 40s. But every guy that she hooks up with, she's buying them cars, buying them jewelry, brand new iPhones, laptops, PlayStations, all types of expensive shit just to keep the man. And we always say, like, boo, you paying him like you weigh. Like, your whole paycheck should not be going on a man that you just met who's not investing that same amount back into you just
Right.
to keep the man, so to speak, right? And so a lot of these younger men, I'm noticing, feel like That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be kept because their women are supposed to just be coming out the pocket, fucking off their credit so that they can get all the expensive stuff. But on in return, some of these young women feel that the men that they date need to do the same thing as well. If I have to break my credit card every time we go out, we don't need to be going out.
Right.
If I have to bend my bank account, spend my whole damn paycheck every time we're to do something outside of at somebody's home Netflixing and chilling, then I don't need to be with you because
Right.
it doesn't take that much all the time to date. Now, I again, when I travel, I'm not staying at the Mosey Rosie. I'm not staying at the Motel 6. I got a little more taste in that. And I might be booking like the Hyatt or Residence Inn or something of a little upper class than, you know, 69.99, and I'm scared to sleep because there's stuff crawling on the beds and on the walls. But if we going on a trip together, it's going to be a budget friendly trip. It's not going to be something that we're both coming back broke from.
Right.
I damn sure am not going to be the one broke and you just living in a lap of luxury because I've had to spend all this money on you just for us to go enjoy a trip. If that's the case, then boo, I can go by my damn self or take my kids. I don't need you to come with me. But I don't know. I just never felt like dating should break the bank.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
that's
I
just
mean,
not,
it's
making financially smart decisions. That just, again, if it's a treat every now and again, like one of my exes, he treated me to dinner. I mean, he treated me to the movies, and we had been planning this date the whole week, and I was fine with the movie. But the movie started at like 10 o'clock. It was still early. We were enjoying each other's company. I didn't want to go home. He didn't want to go home. So shortly after the movie, he suggested we go get something to eat. Bet, no problem. When the bill came, I grabbed it and I told him, "Well, hell, you treated me to the movies. The least I could do is treat you to a meal," and I paid for it. He said he's never had a female do that before. So that was like a wow factor for him. Like, oh, she's a real one. No, that's just how I am. If you treat me to something, then I can treat you to something else.
right.
That's fine. Even though, the movie costs more than our little appetizers and drinks at Denny's afterwards. But again, the whole point is if you can do one thing, I can do the same. I don't expect you to pay for everything the whole night just because you invited me out on a date.
Right.
But I guess I'm just old school and or different.
No, I mean that's how me and my wife ran our relationships. If you ever ask, pay. That's how we did.
You fly out by. Like if you drive,
Yeah.
I'll pay. I mean, I just feel that's just how it should be. Like it shouldn't just be one sided all the time. Whereas, some people feel that it's always on the man to pay. Some of these men nowadays feel it's always on the woman to pay. And I feel like it should be split down the middle.
Right. Well, I mean, again, I think it just sets up the relationship that you want to have. If you want to have a relationship where you're always on the hook, dude, then you set up the expectation that no matter what happens, what you're going through, what the situation is, I got you financially.
Yeah.
But if that's not what you want in a relationship, like you want to have more of a partnership, because even in that relationship, like let's be honest, if he's paying, if the agreement is that he takes care of all the bills and he has all the financial responsibility, we can't sit here and pretend like you have a say when it comes to what happens with the finances.
Right.
Because if he's paying, this power seat is with him. There's a power in me doing all the bills and taking all that responsibility. Like I'm not going to like. It's just. I mean, we can sit here and pretend like, oh no, she still has a shaker. She's still valuable because she's a table. Like that's all bullshit. Like if you with somebody and they paying all the bills, then they have a certain level of power in that situation. It just kind of
True.
is what it is.
I
That's it.
definitely did. I didn't look at it that way, but I definitely agree.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. Like there will be times where people's money might shift and fluctuate, and it's how you approach the money that you have. If you approach your money as our money, no matter who makes it, then whoever makes the most money doesn't matter. But if
Right.
it's all on me and I'm the responsible one, then if I have to pay, I get to make the decisions. I get to make the choices. So,
Yeah.
even down to like, okay, if I'm paying for the tickets to go on vacation, you want to go to the mountains, I want to go to the beach, we going to the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I wrote the check. I'm writing the check to the people. You're not
I
writing the
got a
check.
girlfriend going through that now. Her
Yeah.
husband, for the past 32 years, have paid all the bills. And so when she's been on an allowance, and now that, she kind of wants to venture out and spend money frivolously as they're approaching retirement, he holds the checkbook. And when he says no, it's no. And she
Right.
gets pissed behind it. But again, he's paid all the bills all this time. So no, you're not getting a new kitchen. No, it's not getting remodeled. Oh, well, if the AC went out, he ain't paying for it to get fixed. So either you go find another job to fix it yourself, or you just got to buy some fans and figure it out. Because
Right.
he
You get
figures
one of them hand fans.
right.
You
He's
practice the
funded your whole
Beyonce dance.
relationship. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I like having control of myself,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
household. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
You know,
Singlehood looks good on me, and I'll keep it as long as I need to, because all that sounds like a massive headache for me, and my mouth is too damn slick anyway. So I'm quick to cuss somebody out. Hold the fuck up. Who is you talking to? What the hell you think? So yeah, it's best that I stay in my lane where I'm at until the right one comes along, and therefore until that happens, I'm gonna just stay over here in Singleville. Tell
right.
everybody, whoever's out there for me, he gonna have to find me on a trip to Lowe's or Costco one weekend, because I don't go nowhere to meet nobody anyway. So, you know,
It is
maybe when
what
we
it is.
plan the little My Take family cruise, I'll meet somebody then. Until then, I'm gonna just chill right in the house, because no, ma'am,
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
good. I just ain't got that kind of time for foolishness, and it's too much fullness. I can't even say the word. It's too
But
much fuckery going around in the world for me right now. So I'm gonna just stay in my little corner and be okay.
I heard that. I heard that.
Are you back tomorrow night?
Yes. Yes. I'll be back tomorrow night.
Alrighty, because I I don't know if this is a topic you wanted to touch, but for some reason, polygamy just can't escape my television, and I just saw the documentary on Samuel Bates
Oh, okay. The
on
Netflix stuff
Netflix.
documentary.
Yeah, but the girl Christine Marie, or Christina Marie, who was on the panel for Sister Wives when they were at UNLV,
Yeah. Mm.
her and her husband were in cahoots in the documentary, and I don't know. I got some thoughts and some questions in regards to it. I don't know if you've seen the documentary yet, but
I can definitely
I'm
check it out, and then maybe we can talk about it tomorrow.
yeah, it's on Netflix. I mean, it's a quick watch. I'm not saying it's going to take you a few days to get through it, but it's crazy as hell to me how people can just blindly follow an individual and be a part of a cult. That part just, I don't know, in the name of God, I guess, the false prophets in the Bible, I don't care whose rendition of it you get, right?
Mm.
Talks about false prophets. So it shocks the hell out of me how so many people are so quick to follow individuals that are false prophets.
Right.
But I might have to leave a couple speak pikes, because yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's confusing to me, but it's a lot.
All right. Look forward to it.
All
Thank you
righty.
for calling in.
No
Appreciate
problem.
you.
Check you out in the comments, because
All
that's
right.
where I'll be.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Karma cuties, ladies and gentlemen. We have had some speak pipes come in. We had Brittany, not Brittany, with the $4.99 super chat. Said, but even beyond how she behaved, she decided to post it on Beyonce's interwebs. Are you not embarrassed? Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, there ain't no shame. You can't shame the shameless. And especially I think with the because there's so much stuff that people post, like self-report on and post, that it's incredible to me. And it's almost like you can't think you're that interesting that you would put yourself in a situation where you look compromised, but they do it all the time. They do it all the time. So like if like she probably thought when she posted that whole video, like, oh, he gonna drop me off because he a brokey And he, oh, you know, he's so embarrassing. And she probably thought she was legitimately embarrassing him, not realizing she looking like Boo Boo the fool. Because I'm proud of him for dropping the ass off. Because I see too many of those videos, you know, even speaking about it, I see too many of those videos where people will try, like I said, go back and try to convince him or try to salvage, or, oh, I paid money for her to fly out, so I'm going to sit here for the next 30 minutes and try to talk her into going back to the hotel to give me some. Like, forget all that. Have enough pride in yourself where it's just not that important to you. Act, you know, what they say in, if you ever play football or sports or whatever, you score, you know, don't be standing there celebrating like a fool. Act like you've been there before. You know, this ain't the first time. Act like you used to it. You know, oh, I gotta get her back to the hotel, so I'm gonna sit in there and let her disrespect me, and I'm gonna just run her. You know, I'm good. I don't need it. Thank you. Let me drop your ass off. I appreciate that part of it, but she posted it like a hero. This is how you do it, ladies. Get dropped off at the airport no sooner than he pick you up, ladies. Now they got you looking like a crazy person. Let me give Brittany a little something. Then we had another one from Brittany Not Brittany with a $4.99 super chat. It says, what often happens in this is the guy thinks it's his time to get his fantasies taken care of, but he's not the desirable one in the duo. And he's like, oh no. Yeah, because part of the problem too is that in the fantasy building world of adult content, because men drive a lot of that billion-dollar industry, so much of that industry is geared towards the fantasies of men and makes men the center of that attention. So if you have a scene, say, with two women and a man, both women are basically there for the man's pleasure and for his pleasing, right? And even if they're doing things with each other, they're doing it so that it pleasures the man in some way. And when you excise that scenario from, you know, film or video to real life, it's everybody's in there for their own self. You know, everybody trying to get theirs. And people have their own thoughts, hopes, dreams, desires. If that woman is there, especially if it's a thing where the woman's not there to necessarily get the guy, like if it's one thing if, you know, a woman befriends a guy's wife as a means to try to get to the guy, then he might get more of that, you know, fantasy experience. But if it's a woman, your wife goes out and she meets another woman, and that woman wants to initiate that relationship, and then she meets you, bruh, it's about her trying to get to your lady. The dumb part is, and this is, you know, I play this game sometimes with the abuse stuff. The dumb part is, homie, and I say this to the guys, if that was a man, would you be okay with it? If a man came to you and said, hey, man, I think your wife is kind of hot and I just want to, you know, do some things with her, you know, give a little change and do something strange, would you be okay with it? Or is it only funny and giggly because it's a lady who does it? And that's why I take the position that a lot of guys who enter into these relationships don't take the women's sexuality in these relationships serious. Because if it was a man, you would take it deadly serious. You try to fight his ass if he asks you some shit like that. You know what I mean? Hey, man, your girl kind of fine. I was wondering if I could take her back to my place for a good time. You be rolling around on the ground with her. But because it's an attractive woman, a lot of times that's, you know, that's what it is. You're attracted to her too. You thinking, well, if I let my wife do it enough, then maybe they're gonna let me slide in there and they can put me where they want me. You know, no. Not realizing that woman ain't there for you. She ain't screwing. Like, she is not attracted to you. They even had that on Seeking Sister Wives. You know, there was a woman who was curious, and she wanted to get a girlfriend, and it was breaking the husband's heart because he was like, "Oh, it's like the woman that she's dating doesn't really show any interest in me." That's because she's not interested in you, brother. She's talking to the one she want to talk to. You know why? Because there are ladies out there who are not interested in men. There are women out there who are not interested in men. And they're interested in women. And if they get hold to your wife, they're not going to open themselves up for you to have experiences with them because they're not with it. Even if you do somehow luck up or fall into the fantasy where one night, wild night, you get to jump in there in the rotation, right? That's not her game plan. That ain't you a distraction. And then when you sitting there, like I said, when you sitting there looking at that damn U-Haul go down the street with your wife and your family in it, and she's starting a new family with her girlfriend.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
You can't believe it. I don't understand what happened. She done left me for somebody else, and it just so happened to be a woman. It was supposed to be for both of us. She said that she was not really attracted to her, and they was going to keep their relationship strictly physical. That's what she said. You gonna have me? I'm gonna come in there and tell them, you boo-boo the fool, because you ain't take her serious. You underestimated her, and now your ass is sitting there with
Emotional damage.
crying in your beer, looking sad and stupid. You know what I mean? So I tell people all the time, like, make sure you know yourself. Make sure it's something you can handle. And understand the risks. Understand the risks. Because that person might come in there and smooth talk the shit out your person and finesse them right up out from under you. That's my take. You know what I mean? Give Brittany a little something. You know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You sitting there fucking talking about that woman like she did something wrong. You open up your damn family. Like, you should have said no. You knew you couldn't handle it. You gotta make sure that's nothing. You can't be limping across the damn finish line and you opening up your relationship. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting the job done. And you gonna put out there one of them young bucks, one of them studs, them stud ass females, and you don't think nothing gonna happen. She was supposed to be us. She broke up the promises. You know what I mean? She said that I was the only one. Well, she was mistaken. Oh, then we had hold on 1 second. I missed it. Oh, we had Jody Perry Scholar with the $9.99 super chat. Said, so do you think there is a difference between women of different races? I feel like their moms raise stronger women that don't get walked on. This is not racist at all. I think it depends on the people, the culture, and where they are more than the race. Because I say that to say this. Like, because I'll give this example. If you go to a comedy show, right? For a long time, you could go to a comedy show. You'd have a white comic would get up, and if he's talking about like disciplining kids, it'd be one expectation. But then you have a black comic get up and talk about, if you disciplining kids, how we would get jacked up, and the white people, they don't really discipline their kids. They get their kids time out, and they don't really spank them at all, and they don't care, and this, that, and the other. Kid be cussing them out, and they kind of play on that stereotype. I'm here to tell you that that's some bullshit, because I've known some white kids whose parents would tear their asses up, Jack. Like, they'd had the black families like, I'm gonna get the hell out of here because somebody going to jail. You can't do no child like that. This is ridiculous. They would tear that kid ass up. I think it's kind of the same way. Like, I think when it comes to strength and like being outspoken, a lot of times because of stereotypes and expectations, and just like power dynamics, very subtle power dynamics. If one person, it's like women in the workplace. I even say it this way. It's like women in the workplace. If a woman in a workplace says something, then it's one thing. But if a man who is going through the same situation says something, it's a completely different thing. The man says something, he's a leader. He's assertive. He's no nonsense. He's serious. He's professional. If a woman says something about something that's going on, she could use the exact same verbiage, the exact same tone, tenor, volume as her male counterpart. And when she comes out and says something, all of a sudden she's a complainer. She's a troublemaker. She's creating she's not serious. She's just creating problems and issues. Right? So it's just how it's not so much from the perspective of the person who's doing the thing as much as it is the interpretation of the person who's listening to the thing. Like, because I understand it, like some of the ladies, like maybe Caramel Cuties or Megatron, they come off aggressive. I get it. I'm used to it. My mama was aggressive, but yeah, they come off aggressive. But if you look at the people that they are, you see like the heart behind the tone and tenor of the things that they say. It might sound aggressive, but if you listen to what they're saying, like, Karma Q's about her kids. So if you say something about her kids, fucking around with her kids, then she gonna be aggressive. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I can look at several women in this same chat. I'm not trying to pull nobody on the rug. I probably shouldn't have did it with Caramel Cutie, but I can pull like several people in this chat. If you mess around with their kids, they want to go to prison. You know what I mean? And they'll be just as loud, just as vociferous, just as aggressive as Caramel Cuties is. They just, for whatever reason, they don't necessarily get the rap for being that way. So I think that, is it a race thing? I don't think it's necessarily a race thing. Perhaps a cultural thing, maybe. But I do think that there's a perception. I think the perception thing weighs way more. Like what we expect. Like I said, I mean, if I go to a comedy show, I go to a comedy show and I listen to two comics get up. I'm not necessarily expecting, which actually plays into a really good comic, because you want to be surprised. You want to be surprising and say things that people aren't necessarily expecting, because there is comedy in surprise. But typically the expectation is, if you listen to a white comic and a black comic talk about disciplining their kids, the white comic is going to talk about everybody got timeouts. Black comic going to be talking about everybody getting their ass whipped. Bernie Mac, people like that, choking kids out, chopping them in the throat and stuff. Like, it just kind of is what it is. But it doesn't mean that, one parent versus the other parent will be more aggressive. And it also depends on, like, again, I think it's cultural. I do think it's also financial. If you grow up, like Robin's mom, for instance, is Robin stronger? I don't know if you would necessarily, anybody would say that's strength, but she definitely Robin's mom raised her to be a predator of sorts in families, to make sure that she's getting her needs met. I just think that that's like, and that clearly they grew up in the same culture, they're the same race, everything else, statistically is basically the same. The only thing that's really different is that, the other women are looking for fairness and justice in a place where Robin was taught to procure and gain. Like, she was taught to manipulate the situation or the scenario, or put herself in the strongest position as possible, so that she can get the things that she wants for herself and her family that she wants. She wants to be able to corner the resources. Whereas the other women, we're all working together. Robin was like, that's not how I was raised. So I think that part of it plays into it too. No, I don't think anybody's asking. Like, honestly, Jody, I don't think anybody thinks you're being racist. If you have a question, I don't mind people asking questions. I mean, nobody should be afraid to ask a damn question. You know what I mean? That's how we keep stuff going. Like that's that's why we had a problem that we have, because too many people are scared to ask a dang on question. Afraid that they're gonna get labeled or branded because they curious about something. No, that don't fly here. We don't do that here. But thank you so much, Jody Perry Scholar. Then we had Darlene Hall gifted One My Take on Reality membership. Thank you so much, Darlene. Trying to keep the Saturday party going. Make sure you tune in on Saturday noon. We have extensive discussions on many different topics. Some of them very relevant, some very heartfelt and serious. So if you can, check us out. Join the membership. Join. And hopefully you participate with the gift from Darlene. Thank you. Then we had another one from Darlene, gifted 2 My Take on Reality memberships. Thank you so much, Darlene. I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and give you a little something. Again, come on Saturday, noontime. We have a good time. Darlene's there. We have extensive conversations. I'll open up the panel. We have everybody come up and we just have an open discussion. All right. Thank you so much, Darlene. All right. And we have one more phone call from Allison. What's going on, Allison? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How's everybody?
Doing very well.
My son, I'm 5'3". He
Okay.
outgrew me by the time he was 11 years old. He's 6'4" now and 400 pounds. So, well, not 6, he was 11. But he, I used to tell him, one time he threatened me and told me, I'll call Child Protective Services. I said, that just gives me 20 minutes to do whatever I want to do to you before they get here. If I'm going to jail, then I'll just rest there. I don't have any bills. I can lay down and sleep. And as far as telling your boys, about, the sexuality when they're growing up, I warned him about how sneaky little girls could be too, because some of those girls try to trap you, and that's what I was worried about. And I always taught him to be respectful, and no means no whenever they say no, even if they said yes 5 minutes ago. And I don't know, you just have to watch that stuff. But he's too cheap to be a sugar daddy, so that's good. I don't have to worry about that.
It's frugal. There you go. It's frugal.
Yeah. But anyway, and this might be kind of graphic, but he was 12 and him and his little friends were in the bedroom, and I heard him on the Xbox chattering, and this is nasty, about fish. And I said, if you guys ever get with the girl and you start thinking about mayonnaise and fish, run, because that girl needs to go to the doctor. It ain't supposed to be that way. So some moms do tell their boys. Then I was worried about the kid he was talking to his mother, and she called me up like an hour later, and I didn't even know it was a girl I went to high school with, and she was like, did you tell my son this? And I was like, yeah, I did. And she was like, well, thank you, because I didn't know how to bring it up with him.
Right.
And I just made it funny. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think, pH is off, but the whole thing is that you try to give them as much information as they can handle. It's about keeping them safe, I think, is a big part. As far as like, can women set you up? Yeah, especially there's concerns the same way, some men will try to get women pregnant to hold them back. Some women will get pregnant to try to hold on to men, or to latch men to themselves, like cast themselves to those men if they think they're going somewhere. So I mean, there's always that concern too, and it's just like I said, it's just the one. I think first and foremost, it has to be an integrity thing. Like, how do you want to move through the world? You know, do you want to be the person who takes advantage of people in this type of situation? And especially if you're gifted with, you know, I hate to sound like a Marvel character, but with great power comes great responsibility. If you are a bigger person and you could do some things forcibly, it's on you not only to not do those things forcibly, but you also have a inherent responsibility to try to make people feel more comfortable around you. That you and carry yourself in a way where they never have to worry about you being the type of person who would do those things.
He's a first responder, and he has a deep voice, and he's big. He has to be very careful about how he talks to people so they don't feel intimidated.
Right.
And he's very, very conscious of that. Because he doesn't want to intimidate anybody. He's there to help people, you know. But some people, he has to let his partner take over because they are just intimidated by his size and they're in a bad situation. They're sick or hurt. And so he lets the other person take the lead, and he's really good at gauging that. So,
right.
You know, and I taught him when he was younger and big, look, people are going to be intimidated by you. But then he had the side where everybody wanted to fight the big guy because that was cool. Right. And if they fought the big guy, then you know, and he didn't even want to fight anybody. He's a big teddy bear, you know what I mean? He can get mean, but he doesn't want to. So I don't know, but I just thought I'd say the other side things, you know. And boy, moms got to do their jobs too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I mean, I can respect the fact that, like I said, because I was kind of in that same situation. I wouldn't go out looking for problems. And because you're not aggressive, sometimes people misread the situation and they try to take advantage of it. And that's all it, you know, because it's a thing that builds them up by saying that they could jump on a big guy. But you know, the reality of it is that if he's a big guy, he's a big guy. And when you jump on a person of a certain size or a certain stature, you know, there's inherent risks to that. You know? Right. So there's been many people who have found out the hard way that, you know, just because you may be easy to smile or you may have a gentle personality, that you'll tear their ass up. You know?
Like when you get picked up by your throat.
Yeah.
And your feet are off the ground.
Things can happen to you because at the end of the day, they are a big person. Like, it didn't stop being a big person because you decided to jump on them. So, I mean, there's that too. And but it's also, like I said, it's a point of integrity where you know, when you walk through the earth, as you move through the planet and you move through life, you decide how you want to move through life. Who do you want to be? And how do you want people to see you? And then that, I think, determines like not only how you carry yourself, but how you treat other people. And that should extend not just to like personal contacts, but romantic relationships, friendships, familial relationships, sexual relationships. Would I want somebody to come in and do something to me that I don't want to happen? No. You know, so it's just respecting people the same way you want to be respected.
Yep. Well, you guys have a good night.
All right, you as well. Thank you for calling in, Allison. See, I told you once you pop, you can't stop. I told you. Once you get the fever, that's it. You know, you locked in now.
I figured out how to put my voice out here without putting my face on here. So that made it okay.
There you go. That's how I did it sometimes. I think I had a whole period where I was doing just a voice. But yeah, thank you for calling into the show. I appreciate you.
Thank you guys for listening.
All right. Great points. All right. We had Allison Gaines in the house. Awesomeness. We had Carmel Cuties. She said, I think I was raised by a strong woman who had a hard life. the hardness taught me to be strong also. Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, because it also depends on your upbringing. Because your environment will shape who you are. I know we like to pretend like that's not a factor, but yeah, that's a factor. Like if you grow up, because if certain things happen to you when you're a younger person, it shapes you out to respond certain ways. Like, so if you are a younger person and maybe you grew up and things were a little rough in your house, I can say this: if you grew up and you walked on eggshells in your house, that person has a level of typically that person who grew up in that household has a level of emotional intelligence that a lot of people just don't understand. They are able to see aggression in people. They are able to see moods better, how people move in the rooms, how they talk. They can pick up on little micro indicators as to how people are feeling and where they are. They can tell when like mood shifts happen just because they grew up in a household in their environment where they felt like that knowledge was important for their survival. So there's many different ways that how you grew up affects how you move through life as well. So I agree with that. We also had Caramel Cuties gifted One My Take on Reality membership. Reminding you guys to come in on Saturday. We have the round table. We can participate, have a good time. Fun for everybody. I wish I could pass out cotton candy. Maybe I'll do like a Mr. Rogers. I'll come in and change my shoes or something. Who knows? Just like you. Mr. Rogers was the shit back in the day, y'all. If you don't know, you know. If you know, you know. Darlene Hall with the $2 super chat said, play that song by Just Scrapping for us, please, at the end. I will. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. There you go, doing the Just Scrapping dance. Yeah, but before we go, let me just see if I can call my thing out. I have to fix my computer, but we're going to do a abbreviated version of Hearts in the Chat tonight. If you guys want to put your hearts in the chat for people, it's a segment that we do to support one another, just to make sure that people who are in need or people who are going through some things or prospectively going through some things feel the support and love from us and know that we have their back as a group, that they're not moving through this world alone. Allison, it starts at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. If you have your bell and notifications up, if you're a member, you should be getting notified. Sometimes YouTube don't show me the love and notify my people. Just warning you, but we will be here at 12 Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, so put some hearts in the chat for folks. Typically, we'll do hearts in the chat. I can only see part of my screen. So I have Jody Periscala, Caramel Cuties, Megatron, Miss Betty. I think Ty was on there. Allison Gaines, Melanie Porter. No, that's not it. I forget. I know Brittany, not Brittany, was added. Lit Mom, I threw her on there because she was going through some things. And there's one person I'm forgetting. I'm going to have to shout them out twice as much tomorrow after I resolve my computer issues. But yeah, let's put some hearts in the chat for those folks and anybody who needs them. Let me throw some hearts in the chat as well. Hearts in the chat. All right. And we had another gifted membership from Lizzie B. Triple OG. Mega Mod Squad member with the My Take on Reality membership. Make sure you guys tune in on Saturday noon for those that meeting. We have like I said, we open up the panel. Everybody gets a chance to talk. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Lizzie B. All right. Guys, I had a fantastic evening tonight talking to everybody about some of this foolishness. Of course, we expanded it per use, but it was fun. It was informative. Hopefully, everybody had a good time. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're going to have a good time. I'll be sending that out. You guys can check it out. The SpeakPipe. Yeah, make sure you leave some messages for SpeakPipe. I don't think I have any SpeakPipe messages as of yet. That was supposed to be my Thursday night, supposed to be my SpeakPipe show, but I don't have no SpeakPipes. So we might just do a regular show. But thank you guys so much for being in there, especially sticking with me through the transition away, not necessarily away from Sister Wives, but to something a little more different than just an old Sister Wife situation. Kathy Ferran for hearts in the chat. That's right. Thank you so much, Caramel Kitties. Yes, Kathy Ferran for sure. That's one of the people I'm missing. Yeah, let's put some hearts in the chat, especially for Kathy Ferran. Thank you so much, Caramel Kitties. And this one's for Kathy Ferran. All right. But thank you guys so much. Let me rock this song real quick. Per your request. And matter of fact, I'm tomorrow night, because I have a couple songs from Just Scrapping. So tomorrow night, I'm gonna play one of the other songs that she has. So you guys can hear another fresh drop from Just Scrapping. But here we go with You're Here With Me.
For attention, drama queens with crowns, but no conviction, but now you're here. My addiction could've clicked that prank, that mukbang feast, or streams of gamers slaying beats. But you're here with me, not scrolling free, not lost in streams or reality. You're here with me, where you wanna be, out the algorithm. Just you and me. Could be watching cats knock glasses down, or a dude trying to stunt, stressed as a clown. DIY hacks turn smiles to frowns, but you're vibing here, no fakes around sound. This ain't unboxing or ASMR. No clickbait titles, no rented cars. Realest channel in your repertoire. Stay tuned, superstar. But you're here with me, not scrolling free, not lost in streams or reality. You're here with me, where you wanna be, out the algorithm. Just you and me.
All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me all night long. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys check me out. Hit that like button on the way out. Let folks know that we are still here. We still popping and we still rocking, and we got all the reality they can take. It might not be the stage reality from TLC, but I like to keep it funky, keep it live, and keep it all the way real. So thank you guys so much for joining me. That's my take. I'm James, and this has been my take on reality, and I'm